I knew that. It's obvious.
Then what was the hold up?
I probably shouldn't start by eating my hands.
No, I think that's difficult to do.
I know
You
I
would have had
can't
to have
fit.
started somehow.
I know I can't fit my whole hand in my mouth. I don't know if I'd want to. It's kind of icky.
I think you don't.
I need to be okay. I need to move this to a new window, control room. Otherwise, I'm just going to be accidentally showing people the control room. Although I'd rather not have to look at it, you know. So this is what it was meant to look like. I mean, this is what it does look like, I should say. But obviously, the difference would have been you.
I would have thought you would have just gone back to the normal one.
I think I can. I think I can. What's this? Is this what I think it is? It is. I think I could. I don't know. I like having you there. I like.
You know, but my camera and face cam on my laptop was like, I don't exist anymore, and it just doesn't. Nothing registers it.
I don't know why it
that's
had to
cool
go
and
through
fun.
like a denial phase. To be honest, that's the thing I don't understand. Like you were there for like a little bit frozen. Just like why wasn't it just broken immediately? Why does it's like it has to mess you around? It's like
It's the breaking stage.
yeah.
I guess
Yo.
it's just its connection to the laptop is broken. It's not like the camera itself doesn't work anymore.
Hey monkey,
It's...
you played RoboQuest update at all? A little bit.
Oh,
I have also decided. I mean, I don't think Tyler's too interested. He's not. I don't think I played so much for no reason before the update that I think I can justify waiting more time for it to be more. Especially because the next update is seemingly supposed to add a new class. In the form of Superbot. Which was like originally it was announced as an April Fool's joke, but it's also not a joke. They just chose to announce it on April 1st. Like he's real. Superbot is real, and he's small. You're small as Superbot. You're low to the ground.
I feel like you've fallen for elaborate April Fool's joke.
No, everyone seems to be. Everyone's like, it's just real apparently. Also, so elaborate that everyone in the community is also saying that it's real just to trick me.
Yeah. It's very possible and really doesn't have to be that elaborate for you to be tricked.
Pulling pranks like that is the reason why I want to be like, stupidly rich.
Sure, what you can just like have them killed.
No, so I can pull pranks like that.
No. But you're the guy who gets pranked, Harry.
I know. Even if I was stupidly rich, I would get pranked. I suppose, yeah, then I would use the money to kill people, because money does that.
Yep.
Money kills people. The closer we get, the more my bowels move. It's so annoying. It's not even because of it, because I'm not nervous.
There is a really weird noise playing. There's there's like a dog howling.
What from what?
I've no idea. Please, cat, do not bite my new earphones, you fucking mangy bitch.
I reckon it was them who. That's the reason the camera's fucked.
Probably. He does like gnawing on my laptop.
Yeah.
Like gnawing on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not I'm definitely not nervous. Like, I'm trying to think of what they could possibly say or show that would be bad. You know, I don't know why. It's
Um,
really pessimistic, but as in, I'm not expecting that. I'm just wondering if it's possible. Like, because even Rocore possibly being delayed is something already established, basically. Even if it's not the case. So
yes.
I suppose we're safe.
I bet they can do something that will ruffle everyone's feathers. That's what they seem to be doing of recent, right? Every stream they seem to somehow fuck up in one way or another.
What was? No, not with the. What? No, that was what?
What?
What was wrong with the anniversary stream?
Anniversary one. They announced the thingy. Everyone was like, "What?"
Oh,
What?
yeah.
It
Do you know
wasn't big.
why? It's because they're human beings and they don't
No,
have
they're
much
not.
business sense. Oh, I don't know why they chose to turn to actual video at 8:48.
It was the time.
What's happening? I'm getting called by my mother. Yeah, hello.
Of course.
Yes, I can hear you. No. Right.
It's crazy how few people there are watching this. Not our stream, obviously. Their one.
Maybe. What about like? Oh, okay. Bye. She she asked me if I like breaded mushrooms.
Ew.
I know. Bad.
Mushrooms.
Well, actually, I need to turn it down a bit. Hello, Chad. Yeah, is it low? The amount of people watching?
Uh,
It's going up slowly.
remember the I think the anniversary stream, not this year but the year before, had like 2,000 to 3,000 people watching. I'm pretty sure, just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Obviously, last anniversary was probably only around this. I think. It might have reached 1,000 if I'm not quite sure, but yeah. I mean, considering this is going to actually be a lot juicier than the anniversary one.
Yeah, well, hopefully it will entail announcements that can be put elsewhere, what will attract attention.
I mean, isn't it like very, very possible that this will be the beginning of teasers, right?
Yeah, well, I think they said they're going to show a lot of screenshots, um, and just say a lot of stuff that hasn't been said before about season 5. But I'm assuming that at least one of them will be like the key art slash title in the key art, and
Yeah.
that's
They
one of
have
the
much behind.
that's one of the better
Like, we
bits
know
of marketing that the seasons
it's
have.
going to be like rogue core heavy,
It's not.
right? Like,
Oh, the season.
what? Yeah. Like we already generally know the theme. In all fairness, we don't quite know everything about Rogue Core, like what any of it's gonna look like. But we know, like,
You're watching SNIS and
um,
Javarak at the same time.
the story was in the
Can
thing.
you turn us up a bit and turn the other two down?
It's why why are we like trendsetters? They never normally do this, right? They didn't do it in the anniversary,
With the
right?
pilots.
Like we would do it at the anniversary. They didn't do it on the other on the Horizons. Now all of a sudden they're doing it. It's the same with news videos. We did it, and then everyone else, including Javarak, like
Well, here's the thing about news videos: is the people who are cool don't do them.
I guess. Well, they
SNIS
do
and
the
Lazy
summary.
Maybe. I mean, obviously SNIS is doing this now, but like SNIS and Lazy Maybe, they do their thing. They don't really, especially Lazy Maybe. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. Axis Cronus has always kind of done anything. He gets a pass. I think.
Well, you say that, but has he done anything in like ages?
No. And when he does, it's always something random, you know. Maybe this will inspire him.
I don't know. It would only really get him participating if it's bad.
Yeah.
That's all he really.
That's the difference between us and him. It doesn't matter. We're like vultures.
It's all bad and good.
We can eat. We're like crocodiles. Crocodiles can eat anything, you know, like including rotten flesh. That's like us.
Yeah,
we can just eat whatever they give
we'll
us.
even eat nothing. Even when there's nothing, we'll manage to turn that into food.
Yeah, it will be. We won't. We might not. It might not taste good, but it will still give us sustenance. How have you noticed how we always come up with analogies for what we like everything, like weird like food or animal based analogies constantly.
I think it just makes it easier to
digest things.
Yes. For lack of a better term.
There is no better term. Like that is the best. It is a good term for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's check the Steam page again. There won't be anything right now. It is weird they put out a patch today though. Only because it's so disconnected from this.
It was probably just like prep, right? Prep for live getting stuff, like laying some foundations.
Yeah, but it didn't say anything like that. But probably.
It wouldn't, would it?
Well, they have done before. Well, you said that before for like events. You know, it's been in the patch notes where it'd be like put some stuff in, preparing for like Easter or something like that, or maybe the anniversary. I think the anniversary more so because of that. The armor, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Which is obviously already in the game, so that saves them adding that.
No, mate. Moving that to the shop is the most laborious task.
That's like 80% of the work into season 5 is moving the armor to the shop.
My takeaway from that would just be how easy is it then to do like make new mission types then if that's 80% of the effort.
Well, it's nothing compared to that.
No,
not that it's easy. It's just that.
Yeah,
is so
this is kind of irrelevant now, but like people do think they spotted Mark from Ghost Ship playing the new mission type, like on Discord, because Discord is weirdly invasive like that. It tells people like depending on what the game is, if it allows it, it tells them exactly what they're doing. And it said he was like playing a mission called. They said this. I didn't see it myself, but a lot of people have corroborated. They saw him playing something called Deep Scan. And my takeaway from that was, okay, like that wouldn't like I'm not saying we would have guessed that, but if that is what it's called, it's not it's not surprising either. It's not gonna blow my mind. It's not.
Is that even Deep Rock Galactic though? Wouldn't it be like the Deep Rock Galactic preview or whatever that would be under? It's not
maybe
the game
not
that's on Steam.
Maybe not if it's their internal version. it might not have a label. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing is
Honestly,
what I'm saying. It
who
doesn't really
even
matter.
need Steam for that, right? Wouldn't they just run it themselves?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like someone might have just misunderstood or saw something that they didn't, and it doesn't matter either way, really, because
Just be a bunch of misinformation.
yeah. I mean, if that is what it's called, I think that's something we almost definitely learn in 1 second.
Hello.
Oh my god, look at them. Beautiful. I'll turn it up now. Still the old office. God, he's so handsome. You can't hear them. Oh. That shouldn't be correct. Browser audio. Unhide. Oh, okay, no, don't worry. This should be quick fix.
How our office is looking or anything. It's a super nice office that we have right now.
Right, you should be able to hear it now.
It is
charming.
Might be a bit loud, actually.
suitable for 20-25 people, and we are a little under 40 people right now. So obviously we are sitting very, very tight right now.
Too tight.
Snake!
Yeah,
Snake!
and we realize it's not sustainable for us, so we've been looking for a new office.
And actually, it's taken almost a year
Monkey, can you
to
let me
find
know?
something
Okay, yeah,
that
thank you.
is still quite different from what we have now because we're moving up in size, so it cannot be the same. We thought we'd just share a bit with you with some a few images. Clearly, it's
Whoa,
not been
look at that season
decorated
5
or
teaser.
anything, so it looks a bit bare.
Whoa.
But
That is
this is
literally something out
multiple
of what's the
floors,
prison?
like 3 floors. 2 of them will be production floors, and then the top
Zombies.
floor will be.
Mob of the
we have
Dead.
this is the top floor.
It's
Where
like
we
if
have
you
lounge
clean
and
that up with
cantina and
corpses,
roof
you'd end up
terrace.
something like this.
And that's gonna be a very different thing for us, moving into much bigger premise, and a little bit scary as well, right? Because
it is, and I think this is like, I mean, you and I have been part of.
It is
different
very
companies, right?
industrial.
We've tried this of moving, and
Yeah.
keeping your culture is always something that is a concern, and the place, the environment that you are working in is part of the culture, right? So that needs to, we want that to move.
It's going to take a lot to make that homely.
So
of
that's
course,
going to be exciting.
the people, all our lovely employees,
Season
are
5,
moving
the
with us,
back rooms.
and that's the key part of the culture. But we still need to
Definitely.
make sure that the
I
environment.
still think
here
it's probably going to be called something like
is
Blackout or
something
something.
we can live and thrive in.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna happen
But-
after summer vacation.
Going dark or something.
As it is planned right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, Grey Out I think
Hope
makes
that
more
plan
sense because that's what they
really
called it
sticks.
in the
So
road
season
core
5
like
out of the way,
stuff.
and then we move.
But
Yes.
Grey Out's
And
not
then,
a great name
we'll
for
be ready for a fresh start
something.
on the other side of summer vacation.
product.
But maybe we should take a look at the agenda for today, because we have at least 2 hours here in
Agenda.
front of us with
Yes.
lots of points. And we'll start by focusing
Oh,
on
they actually-
the
they didn't have
external,
roadmap in there
productions
originally.
that are published by Ghost Ship Publishing.
Ghost Ship's long-term
So
roadmap.
we have 3 of those, each with a call in to the developers that will tell
Yes.
about their
That's
early
scary.
access release for Survivor and Spellrogue,
Okay. I already
and their
mentioned
current
this
development.
because I said it earlier,
for
but the
Final
view
Fantasy.
numbers have
Very
shot up.
interesting.
Yeah.
1,800.
And then
Yeah.
we will try to give you an overview of everything that is Ghost Ship Games Publishing, and present like a living roadmap for all the activities that we have, all the games that we are publishing, and our internal production.
Which includes Deep Prop, so that should actually have like a
and
season
then,
6
I
like
guess we'll come to a
rough
point, that
window.
a lot of you is actually waiting for, which will be
Scary enough.
Mike and I. Mike, the lead designer, game designer on Deep Rock, and I, as the game director, will
Mike!
take you through a lot of details about what Season 5 is all about.
I heard some of your rehearsals, you and Mike, yesterday, and it's it's super meaty. There's a lot.
I'm
of cool
really
details, and
surprised
it's-
they've
it won't
rehearsed
even be all of
anything.
it, right? But you'll.
It won't even be all of it. No,
Oh,
we
oh.
have cherry picked something.
So that's the program for today, and hopefully you'll stick with us throughout the afternoon.
I feel comfortable that I now
whatever
respect their
time it
choice
is.
to have the
I
coil
guess some
gun
of you
as
are
their
very
resident
early,
model.
up there
As you
on
can
the other
guess,
side
Because
of
I
the globe.
respect it
it's
now.
afternoon. So
Here in Denmark, it's a cold, sunny afternoon. Yeah, it's supposed to be spring here in Denmark. It's waiting a little bit on that.
Supposed to. We're still waiting.
Yeah. It's supposed to be spring in England. We had hail yesterday.
I don't know, guys.
Did you?
Alex here behind us, controlling all the
At all?
technical parts.
Yeah.
And,
It was like pretty much in the middle of the day, I
got a
think.
thumb up, and I think we are ready for our first
ridiculous.
developer interview.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be.
Oh, this should be
with,
great.
Fun Day
Fun Day
Games.
Games.
Oh, that's actually good.
Anders,
I'm actually interested in
director
Survivor.
of Fun Day Games, and it'll just take a while to
Yeah, you
switch
like
over
it.
and get
I really like it.
to join the stream.
Yeah, Anders is
And-
just returning from visiting the Reboot conference in Dubrovnik in Croatia. But he's home now, and will join our stream here for a small chat about how it's been with Fun.
It's
Fun Day
funny how
Games
like
since
the
we released
spiritual
it, but
position of the
Survivor.
weapons made its
Hello,
way
Anders.
into this game.
Anders,
Like the
welcome
Sparta
to
sucks.
the
The Thunderhead is like the best
Good to
weapon.
have you here.
It's really stupid,
Having me. How are you
Yeah.
guys? Are you doing good?
even though they're so
Good,
different
and,
to
excited
how they are in
now
Deep Rock.
Today's on the horizon, and all the things that we'll go through.
Yeah, it's a crazy program you're running through.
Yeah.
It is. I hope you had some good days in Croatia and with
That's
the
an amazing place in
Reboot.
Croatia. Listening to the Game of Thrones theme and talking to a lot of people who played our game.
Oh, that's good. Good to hear. It's
Great.
definitely a game that's been played by a lot of people in the industry, at least. Also know you fans out there have played it. I have more than 1 million sold units, but it's something people in the industry have noted that we released this little game. Tell us a little bit about this, Anders. How has it been to release Deep Rock Survivor?
It's been crazy. Fun Day is actually a relatively old company. It's 13 years old, and this is like our first success of this
Whoa!
size.
It's like the age of
There's just been
consent in
so much
Japan.
interest from all over the place, from your community, from new players, from the
That's a very
it's
odd thing to
been,
know.
Overwhelming. But,
I actually
in a
don't know
positive way.
that.
We
I
suddenly
just
have
know
a
it's
lot of
low, isn't it?
positive
Though? It's
You're
like-
right.
which is amazing.
Oh, that's cool. How was it actually? I mean,
Is
we
he- is
were
he
all
playing right
super
now?
Excited
Is this
about
his gameplay?
the launch, right? And to see how it would actually go. So
Looked
can you
it.
try to put some words into how it was at Fun Day Games when we launched the game? I mean, were people excited?
Honestly, he might
We
be.
were really excited. It was actually we were
I'm gonna go blur
done in
mode.
a relatively
him.
good amount of time, so the build was
Actually, no,
already
not.
ready the day before, which is not normal. We had a relatively calm day launching the game. We had a live stream together, you guys, looking at the first streamers playing, looking at the numbers. And then, as you remember, Steam had some issues relatively short time
A
after launch.
small hiccup. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a small hiccup where suddenly all the store stopped working, and of course that is the last thing you want to happen on launch
Yeah.
day.
I think Søren was just saying, "Oh my God, CCU is rising," and then nobody could download the game.
No,
And then the concurrent users went down again. We were,
but
no, I wouldn't say we were panicking. We were running around trying to figure out, and then Steam just solved itself. And then at some point we saw the first numbers coming in, and they were like 3 or 4x what we had even hoped for, and that was just crazy. That was
It's like
We
second
tried to guess a bit
half
right
of
in the morning.
the
we
go
were
shit.
I guess.
Yeah.
Monetary
so
system.
We were like,
Where it's like
we were
people
way
willing to
off,
buy other
luckily, I would say. And then
Okay.
we were just watching
So
the
cute.
first streamers play the game for like
Like-
8 hours straight, having beers and pizza and enjoying ourselves. And
What's
No, yeah.
what
You know.
surprised you the most?
It's not quite like the
in
Microsoft
an early access
strategy,
game like Survivor?
which is
Oh,
over
that's just
over
it all.
overpay.
We totally
That's their
prepared.
strategy.
Everything was as
I was
expected.
totally prepared. Yeah,
I don't understand. I feel mad for Microsoft.
I would say that the amount of feedback and
Because they
input
bought,
got
they
from
overpaid
was
for fucking
specifically
Activision,
very
Blizzard,
short
and
amount of time,
Bethesda,
just
and it hasn't. I don't think it's turned out too well.
like at a really rapid pace, and
that's the D-Rock Galactic community
You
for
can say
you
the
there.
same,
they,
like,
they are active, and we wanted to, we were like, yeah, we're gonna read all the feedback and
It's
we gotta
basically
engage with the community, and it just went out of control very fast. So that surprised us. We had to, quickly do some modding and have some.
Actually, you know what? I should actually get rid of you
Yeah, the
because you're
power
covering
of
Mikkel and
the
Soren.
community was quite overwhelming.
Nothing.
Actually, there was another thing that I thought about when we launched that.
Oh, I fucking knew it. So
there was
the
many things I hadn't seen,
purple
but one thing
border
was
is
how it
actually
was actually
stuck. I might
very
have to accept the
positively
package.
picked up by streamers.
Oh,
We
yeah.
saw a lot of streamers playing the game, playing it on Twitch, share on YouTube, and sharing content on it.
No, it was good.
And that is something that I think was really cool and very different from Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah.
Deep Rock Galactic has never been very big on Twitch. I mean, comparable.
Oh, there it is. All right,
yeah.
gone.
But I mean,
All
an
evidence
inside
of
view
you
is
visually
why,
is gone.
because Deep Rock Survivor is such an entertaining game to watch people play in, right? You can sit and like, take that upgrade, that upgrade. No, go for the, right.
Yeah, that was crazy. There was so many streamers. At one point, there was almost like there was way more people watching on streams than actually playing the game, and we saw.
I don't know how.
Yeah, we got
Not
so much
enjoyable
feedback from the
game,
streamers
right?
because they're like really engaged players, right? So they really quickly get to like the meat of the game.
Well, so there are more
we
people
did
watching than
know
playing
that
at
it
one
was
point
very
or something.
doable because every Thursday
Yeah.
for the last year before launching, we
Got-
played it.
wait,
in
got
the
another
office
delivery.
together, and every time we ended up spending like 2 hours just watching someone play instead of actually play testing. We always forgot what we were actually looking at. We're like, I even played it this morning actually, playing out update 2 that maybe we can talk a little bit about. So I tried it this morning, and we're just playing.
Okay, I might have to
suddenly
get this
an
one.
hour or 2 hours pass by. So
So
it
what-
is very streamable.
What can we expect from update 2?
Update 2 is primarily about, or it has like 3 big components. We are putting in some new enemies. I can tell you that we are adding the Hoolie Hoarder, which will be. I found him this morning, chased him down, and he dropped something on the ground that I
Like,
could.
how
open,
was someone there
so
to
I'm
get a
not gonna tell more
delivery, and
about
then
that.
another one comes like literally less
cool.
than a minute later, and no one?
We
no one gets
missed
it.
a huge
we only have the
reveal.
Dreadnought at the
Did
moment.
I?
We wanted to do more boss fights and more.
Yeah, they're
very
talking about
boss
the next
fights, so
update
we
for
reworked the
Survivor.
Dreadnought
Well, I know what's in
with
it. They
the
said
new abilities, and then we are maybe adding something new on top of that.
Cool.
And then
And when
got
can we expect? When can we
What you can
expect? Oh
You
no,
can
when can we expect update 2
Oh, in May.
in May? All right.
Yeah, that's the plan. And then we did a lot of rebalancing of the game, and the community is just asking for more math all the time. I don't know why they're so hungry for math. So we're communicating a lot of the underlying systems in the next update as well. So there's a big like UI UX overhaul.
I'm really looking forward to that because
I know,
even me and Mikkel, we were a bit surprised about the actual math behind some of the calculations, right?
And
We're
that
like,
actually
"Hey,
That wouldn't
why
be
did
in
I
Deep
know
Rock spirit
know
for them
that?
to
I need to know that as a player."
expose the technical aspects of the game in the
stuff
game.
As well. So we're adding some new level up cards as well. So you can now like add potency to your stacks in your like dot. If you're doing like a poison build, something you can actually increase the amount of damage over time stacks you can do. So there's new stuff in level ups as well as overclocks as well as new enemies. So it's a meaty big update, I would say.
Cool. I can tell you that we have some super fans here at the office that are eagerly awaiting.
I think as far as you're aware, Mikkel.
Yeah, well, I don't know
We
how.
have one
Right.
programmer who was like, he just completed all the achievements and all the biome
What?
challenges. So
You're pretty
so he's,
choppy.
I think
he's ready for
Mikkel
more.
is a
He
super
wants to
fan.
get the
Like,
early access.
I think people keep
Early
talking about how
access.
Mikkel is just constantly playing Survivor.
Yeah, yeah.
And just going back to the
He
launch,
would.
you also did something which annoyed us a little bit, right? The Deep Rock Survivor beat Deep Rock Galactic CCU.
Yeah,
That was not very nice.
Damn.
Me, though.
How do you feel about that, Anders? Because I know how I feel.
I felt really good about that, and it also allowed us to call Deep Rock Galactic the prequel to our game, which is a good place to be. Yeah, that was crazy. It was above 50,000 CCU was insanely high. A few days after
ECU,
launch.
what does that even?
Concurrent users.
Yeah, and you guys have never even been
Oh.
close to that, right?
Yeah, it beat their total
I
the
think
highest
40
record.
40 something.
Obviously, it
46,
didn't
I think,
because
actually.
the peak
Not that
Yeah,
far
would have
away.
been
Your
if you
curve
included the
always
other platforms
it
in
started
Deep
out
Rock's
a little
peak,
bit
it would be
modest,
higher.
and then increased.
So
Ours was really high from the beginning. But it was obviously only because we had your like amazing game to build on.
So maybe we'll beat you at season 5. So that's for all you.
well,
out
I mean
there.
that's
Get
true. Not that it would
all
be
your
nothing
friends to
without it.
play-
It literally
to
wouldn't
play
exist
season
without
5 so
Deep
we can
Rock. So
beat
So we're aiming to
Monday.
put out a big update.
it's like,
for
oh, I
the
wouldn't
season
gone very
5.
far about Deep Rock. So well, yeah, wouldn't be around.
So talking about updates, is there something you can? I mean, just say no if you don't feel ready for it. But I mean, can you talk about more updates coming? Do you have
Yeah.
more planned? plans?
Well, yeah, we have a lot of plans. I'm not going to announce co-op if that's what you're fishing for, but
No.
we want this game to be a really big game. Actually, we want it to be bigger than traditional survival games are. So we're also looking a lot of what you did with seasons and a lot of deep systems to engage with. So we want this like to transcend the survivor genre, and the first big attempt at this is coming this summer in update 3, which we're already working on behind the scenes. It's a design heavy update, so we're spending our time really trying to get into the core of what we want to do. But stay tuned for that. It's gonna like change the landscape of survival games forever.
Sick.
Cool. It also sounds a little bit like a politician answer where you try to.
It can be useful for me when I'm on holiday.
I don't want to spoil it.
Besides, it's cool.
I can only
feel
play
like it's gonna
this.
Then at some point,
I'm
Anders,
sure it will.
at some point in the future, you're going to launch this as a 1.0 and say it's done, right? Or is it?
No, I don't think it'll be done. I think we need to, we want to do updates after the 1.0, do DLCs, all the stuff you've done as well.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of good years in this game to come, even after 1.0. So in our minds at Fun Day, we expect to work on this for the foreseeable future and even further. So, yeah, no reason to stop when the game is so successful, right?
No.
Another
sure.
evergreen.
But I mean, 1.0, we'll come back to that later in the.
Did you make another evergreen?
We're talking next year.
Like, I know obviously not Ghost Ship.
At least.
That's a plan.
It's not gonna happen
Big
this year.
got
that's
another
for sure, but
evergreen
let's
in its
see
belt.
I think it's just a pretty common thing in
when the game's ready,
indie
right? It's not,
in
Yeah,
general.
and
It's
it-
just
when you call it
understated.
like
I'm just saying
You know?
this because I remember that with Deep Rock Galactic Zone, we were actually
It's AAA where it tends to not work. When AAA games plan on being an evergreen.
that we were with Deep
with
Rock
1.0.
Galactic.
Yeah.
These
So,
guys can
we
get away with
actually
it.
Spent 1 year more in development before we launched into early access. So 1.0.
Yeah. And it is, of course, it's a kind of a what's the definition of 1.0, right? So it already feels like there's a lot of finished content in this, but of course you want more, right? And you just
we enjoy
some
the
updates coming on this.
to experiment in early access, right?
But that guy is
we
really
can talk
handsome.
and engage with the community in a like more free way now. Which is super nice.
And I think, I mean, there's 2 other points, right? That is that the system is almost endlessly expandable, right? The game foundation you have with Deep Rock Survivor, right? I mean, we can see it develop in so many directions.
And that's why that's why the politician's answer is actually because we just have like so many ways we want to go that we want to take it one step at a time. The first big step will come this summer, and then from there we'll learn and talk with the community and see where we'll take it. But it's definitely, we can do much more with the content we already have.
How long until Survivor gets its own road
That's
core?
super cool.
That's the simple answer.
Are you ready for a community question?
Yes.
Nice. Because I'm assisted by Aaron and Jacob at the sidelines who are grabbing questions from the community directly. And I have one here, speaking of big steps. Is the game coming to console?
Oh, is the developer supposed to answer that or the publisher?
Okay, then the honest answer is that right now we have the game in early access on Steam, and I am pretty sure we are not looking at consoles before we go 1.0. So that is a little bit far out in the future. So let's see. But obviously we want
The chief
Rock
thing
Survivor
thing about that
be in the hands
is
of so
that
many
that is
players as
likely
possible,
what they're
right?
thinking
So,
about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I guess some of you played it on the Steam.
And
Deck,
you know
so
what?
it plays
Yeah.
excellently.
I blame consoles
So,
themselves for
It's
this.
a bright future for getting Deep Rock Survivor out on many more platforms. But one step at a time, and we've learned that at Ghost Ship that is really
I
nice.
do. I mean, like,
It
why
is
does it
really
work?
literally
I mean,
one
it's because they're more
platform at a time to
protective,
make
but
sure that
why
you do it right.
it seems to work fine for PCs.
We'll take some of the same
Just letting the
here.
people who
I mean,
make stuff
suddenly, if you have
do what they
multiple
want for the
platforms,
most
you're
part.
suddenly spending time actually not on making the game better, but actually making it run on different platforms, and that is the gamers are not benefiting from that.
Slows down everything.
Games on the platform.
Yeah.
Cool. We have some questions from specifically the people over on Twitch. Do you have any plans for a Twitch integration or a crowd control for survivors?
I don't understand why that shit is anything.
Really,
Why do
yes.
people care about Twitch
And I think
integration?
We talked a lot about it, and we see a huge opportunity in doing that. We just have so much other stuff we want to do first, so it's just been like down prioritized. But there's
Yes.
definitely like an opportunity to do like something where the Twitch chat decides the next update or level up, which would be super fun. We just, in due time. I'm not promising it will come in soon, but it's definitely on the roadmap. It would be super fun.
Nice. All right, and the final question. Was it helpful that you could use the assets from the 3D game for Survivor? A 3D game meaning the first-person game, I assume, because...
For the the prequel, yeah.
The prequel.
It was definitely we did all the assets from ground up here. So we got some 3D materials from Deep Rock Galactic, but it's a very different visual style made for a first-person shooter in a different game engine. So everything is reworked and remade for Survivor. But that said, obviously it was a big help having like the design of all the aliens and so on in place. So our artist could just interpret and create instead of like creating a whole universe.
Same
it's a
goes
big help,
for the game mechanics, right?
Sorry.
I'm just saying the same goes for the game mechanics, right? I mean, we knew that we wanted a game that had some kind of the same flavor as Deep Rock Galactic or Elements, but just in a survivor-like game, right? So we needed to find a smart way to convert Deep Rock Galactic, the 3D game, into Deep Rock Galactic, the 2D game.
It's a 3D game.
Semantics.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right, but I think maybe that was it.
Thanks.
Do you have any final comments?
No. I just want to say thank you to you for
Nah.
lending us.
No.
And thank you to the community and all the players. And right now, the median playtime is more than 10 hours. We expect that to hit way more when we're done. We want players to be able to play this.
No final comments. Goes on to make final comments.
Lots of way to play it. That's what we want.
Thank you, Anders, and thanks for
No final comments.
all the
Comments.
work and the fantastic job you've done with this.
We
You treated our IP very well.
Cements.
Yeah, we're taking well care of it.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
All right.
See you, Anders.
Take care and have a fun stream.
Oh, he's dead.
That was Anders from Fun Day Games.
Yes.
Worked with his team on Deep Rock Survivor for plugging in on a year and a half now, closer to 2 years in towards the
since we started talking about it.
Yeah, since we started talking about it, but the actual work is actually quite a short time from conception to getting it out. But that's what we believe in. We want games to come out to community in the hands of you, so we can get the feedback. And that will also be part of the topic for our next visit from Guidelight Games.
The developers of Spellrogue.
All right, time to check out.
Hot Battler that we released just prior to...
Go grab a cup of tea.
2 days before Survivor.
Yes.
It'd be quite awkward
to you,
because we all know they got nowhere close to the amount of players.
One of the two developers.
Well, we'll see. If it's not mentioned, then...
Is it? It's the good half, right?
Let's say that.
I think Tim, who is the artist, art director, is the other half, and he's not here. But
It literally is made by two people.
If it is,
how's it going?
then maybe we should
I mean, it has been
not be so rude.
almost like 2.5 months since we launched Spellrogue into early access, and how are you feeling? How's it going?
Feeling pretty good.
Never mind.
Going,
What?
The game has
Sorry.
great reception, and I don't know, people like the game.
What?
It's good,
Yeah.
it's good. We still have a lot of things we want to do, but yeah, it's
What was that?
I don't know.
Okay.
we want to do with the game. So yeah.
How was the launch? How was that experience? How did you feel at that point?
Like we were so nervous about if anyone would actually buy the game, right? So we had no idea how it actually would turn out. But yeah, it ended up like being going better than we expected. So we're really happy.
Well, there you go.
The initial launch.
I mean, as publishers of Spellrogue, I'm gonna say we are super happy with the launch, and I think we have got I think we've got like a steady CCU on the game and a good amount of fans out there playing Spell Rogue.
It probably is better than we
so
think.
that has been really cool, I think.
Yeah, and of course, when you release a game, you set expectations accordingly to where the game is, right? And Spellrock we knew that from the wish list and all that it was in a different place than Deep Rock Survivor, for example.
Yeah, it was a bit unfair launching those games back to back.
Yeah.
I mean, unfair to you, to be honest.
It's good company.
That's how it ended up. But compared to that, we are very, very happy about the launch and the reception, and people just like it, right? And they get it.
There's Chernobog on the right.
That's super cool.
Yeah. From
And of
Fantasia.
course, you with the launch, your community has grown. How has it been working with also all the new players coming in?
It's been great just getting like a ton more feedback. To be fair as well, it has been a bit overwhelming with just like how much discussion there is about strategies and suggestions and everything. So previously we had this point of view that we had to read everything and we had to track everything, but there's definitely some things we miss nowadays because there's simply too much going on. But we try to like still read as much as possible and like follow and answer people's questions. But
and I think, I mean, coming from the Deep Rock Galactic community and seeing the feedback on my work as a game director on Deep Rock, I think it is super motivating to get this feedback, right, and feel that the product that you have actually means something to people who are playing it, right? I mean, bad or good comments or criticisms to whatever. I mean, I still think that just knowing that your work actually means something to people, I think is just super motivating.
And just seeing people come up with weird, strange builds that we had no idea would happen. Just the things that people end up doing it's just so cool to follow.
Yeah, and so can you put some words into how is this actually feeding into your work as like game designer on this that you get all this feedback? I mean, can you use it? Can you interpret it and
sure.
get it into the game?
Definitely. There's of course always a factor that like people might not like they have ideas for what they're after, but it might not be the most cost efficient or something that's actually realistic. And of course, we try to just like believe in ourselves and just like go with our gut with some of these design decisions. But of course, we like if a lot of people are saying the same thing, they have the same issues with the game, we take it very seriously and we try to just
very serious.
but like our approach is just we want to make the game as good as possible, no matter what. So if it's listening to the community, if that makes it better, or if it's just like trying our own ideas that we really believe in, whatever it is, that is.
Are there some things, Torbjørn, that have really surprised you?
His name Torbjørn.
Is he?
Feedback or things that people wanted in the game that you never saw coming? Or
Yeah, it's a real name,
Not,
Tyler.
like, super surprising things.
Well, that's from Overwatch.
But,
There's actually a guy in Skyrim called Torbjorn, and that
I don't know, there's a lot
predates
of things that we
Overwatch.
kinda knew
So
was issues with the game that people are finding out, and
You sure about that?
yes,
there's things to improve for the game for sure.
It's always complicated, I think, when getting feedback, right? Because obviously you can, when you get a lot of feedback from the community, right, you can sort of like recognize, or you can, I mean, be told that there's a problem over here with the game, right? But then finding the right solution for that problem can be very complicated because, and it can be easy for community to say, oh, you should just do this and then everything will work. And it's like, no, because then all of this over here will then fall apart, right?
Exactly.
And especially with a game like Spell Rogue, I think it must be sort of like a card house of mechanics working together.
Yeah. It's hard to just change one thing without like affecting a ton of other.
But you have
My
already
knee!
changed some things, updated the game, right? You've done some balancing updates and added a new enemy.
Yes.
And now you're working on the next update.
Update 3.
Yes.
Just to point out, we did a
Spell
ton of other
Rogue
things
Steam
in the previous
page.
update. It wasn't just the enemy. We did a like huge overhaul of enemies and counters.
But then
and
talk a little bit about update 2.
Sure. So the previous update we did, the main headline was just we have a new enemy. That's a really cool combat encounter. Gives you some new challenges. But we also we took a pass on all the enemies throughout the game. Try to make more combinations of enemies and just try to balance them, make them more interesting, make them.
But all I see is Slay the Spire. It's so like
Is it? Hold on.
identical.
Slay the Spire.
The thing that we try to do with enemies, they have to be able to.
I mean, actually, no, I do know what Slay the Spire looks like. I mean, it's
If you just like have
I
one
guess
spell that is just
more than
constantly,
one
then
game
we have
that is a card-based
vision in
roguelite
that,
should be allowed to exist.
You have to have multiple.
I
spells,
know,
you have
but
to, like,
it's the
hit
layout
locations twice,
and like the health bar. I swear to God, it's identical.
Having different counters is just something we really try to prioritize. So I think we did. We
Yeah, I
improved
mean,
it
it's
with the
just
last update, but
I don't know.
there's
It's just
still a
it's
lot
sort
of
of just the way it looks to me. That's just that makes me
And
not
that's
attracted
some
to
of
it.
those things are coming into update 3.
The presentation is
actually,
not
we're not
very
focusing on
special,
enemies that much.
unfortunately.
Okay.
So for update 3, what we are doing is we basically took a step back and tried.
That guy though, that little that purple fella looks like that thing from My Singing Monsters. You know, the one that pokes the orbs.
Yeah, ghastly one.
Yeah, systems in the game that we feel like has some issues. There's some things that
I've
don't
got a
work.
regional
well
idea in
to
his body.
to, so
Now he's
Ah.
stealing.
we have done a ton of experimentation, a ton of brainstorm, a ton of experimentation. The last couple of weeks.
I mean, the guy on the left is just Goku mixed with
Things like
Infernape.
we try to.
It is
reword
pretty,
the ritual
like,
system,
rough.
how rituals work.
It's just
We've
an
done a bunch of
ordinary
map
game.
changes that we're
right?
trying out now.
Kind of feels like not enough.
Separating
from Ghost Ship,
artifacts and
which is
shards and different
unfortunate.
tiles, and
This is
just
like
trying to
the
make
other
the map,
side. It's like Ghost Ship is
the
such
map
an
more interesting.
ideological
So
gold mine or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
so
It's such a
You're truly doing
Ascended
early access here, right? You're developing the game in
game.
front of the audience and
Exactly.
taking in input and adjusting.
It's a-
And then when will update 3 land? Do we have
we
any
are
window on that?
planning in the beginning of May.
May.
Middle
Okay,
of
yeah,
May.
yeah, that's pretty soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
We
thing
also
was
have-
called.
have
That
a
item is
ton
called
of things
Crystal
already that-
Snort.
Ah, good.
Like that is
Oh,
ready.
cool.
There's still things
I'm-
that
That's
we're
pretty
still
cool.
doing, like, we
Snot
might get into
powder.
build, we might have to postpone it or rethink it, whatever. But it's still the plan, and we just
May
we
is
did an
gonna
update
be,
at the beginning.
and I'm actually working on season 5, but I can see now
You
with
won't have
the
you won't have time,
update
Mikkel.
Spellrogue and update for Survivor landing. It's just like, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
And we're hoping.
glad
I think there's gonna be a lot of new. The
Cool.
gameplay it will change a fair amount, I think.
cool. And if we look a little bit ahead and look at like after updates,
I mean, that's all fine. The thing that will be weird is
there
if
something that you
Dino Lords
are ready
releases
to talk
before
about
season
there,
5.
or,
Both of these games
is
getting updates
everything
before it
focused
is
on
fine.
update 3
But
right now,
if
or-
everything else happens before
Well,
season
yeah,
5,
right now, that's what we're spending. a
that'd
lot
be
of time
funny.
on, but
and
but
not
we
great.
already have a few plans for future updates.
Mm.
So, like one of the main things, of course, is we want to make a 4th wizard at some point.
Yeah,
it
the
is
air wizard.
the air wizard, exactly.
Yeah.
We need all those 4 elements.
Oh, you spoiled it. Shouldn't have said Air Wizard.
No, what are you doing?
Maybe it's the mud wizard. Oh, sorry.
It was a joke because the 3 other wizards are based on elements and there are
Yeah.
4
No,
elements and
exactly,
not just 3. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's been
obviously.
It's honestly been.
I think
planned for,
Avatar
like,
is what
at least
actually
2
is
years or
the
something.
main-
I've had that air wizard.
Four elements.
Been a bit for long.
Avatar.
Nothing else.
I mean, we're already ahead of Slay the Spire.
Avatar makes it confusing what
Yeah,
like the
they-
main
they just
4 archetypal elements are. You know? I think sometimes it's like fire, water, and like nature, and but light
Yeah,
and
but then,
lightning.
like,
Sometimes ice is separate from water. Not in Avatar's case. Sometimes it's air. In Avatar,
Well,
lightning is a part of
lightning-
fire, for example.
Fire, water, ice. Right?
I was thinking more like.
Yeah, often like nature isn't even there's nature and earth magic, and they're like separate.
Yep.
Right.
a design session.
Oh, yeah.
You've got like light and darkness. They'll often pull up.
Yeah.
Let's do that, Mark.
Let's do that.
I should probably say this now. You
There's
kind
a
of
lot.
sound like shit. You kind-
So,
um.
Wow, thanks for saying it now.
Well,
Sure, that's definitely something that we.
it's better than it could be worse. Time. Are you using your mic?
No.
First of all, we had
No.
this idea. We called it legendary spells in the roadmap, but it's
But
more.
You
like
specifically
little
say
things
that sounds
numbers,
worse. So
Yeah, but
like more and more.
yeah, but you sound worse than normal.
Like rare spells of
Now.
spells throughout the game. Right now, it's the same spells you get throughout the game. So
Alright.
you quickly finish your builds halfway through Act 2, maybe in Act 2. So the spell drafts that you get in Act 3 are usually not very useful. So it's something that we really wanna give more incentive for actually switching out your spells in the late game, and just having more combo potential, more crazy spells and effects. And
Cool.
yeah.
Some people have noticed some similarities to other games. So with Spell Rogue, did you get any inspiration from games such as Dicey Dungeons or Slay the Spire?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, definitely. So basically, the whole game concept started with just we like the combat in Dicey Dungeons. Let's just try and take the core of that and see if we can just do something with it. And that was 4 years ago, so, at this point. So, but yeah, it just slowly progressed over time. In the beginning, you had like 3-4 wizards that each had the dice and so on, and it just slowly evolved over time. And I think it was probably very affected by the fact that I had played 1,000 hours of Slay the Spire or something. So it's just naturally, whenever we were in doubt about some design, like maybe just let's see what's.
How similar is it really, Tyler,
So,
to Slay the Spire?
and then often it's just.
What do you mean, like gameplay wise?
Like even like the dragging the card, like the arrow, is that in Slay the Spire? Because if that is, that's ridiculous.
Of course, that's also a
I think so.
Well,
Well, maybe
God.
not in the Xbox.
Because you don't even need that. You can just drag the card onto the enemy, but they drag an arrow from it. Like
Click the
that's
card and highlight the enemy. I think that might be how it is. I didn't play the game much. I think I beat it once.
whoa.
Do you have
It isn't
some
much.
favorite, like, what's your favorite part of the game, or part of the game that you're most happy about, personally?
Personally, I really like the fire.
It's mainly just the way though. And like the vibe of it. It's very
It's
simple.
just he has some
Enemy
interesting
designs.
mechanics that I really like. So
Fair.
it's that thing of just rolling a ton of small
At least
dice.
it's actually
and then
slightly
using
3D,
a
is
lot of
it?
dice in one spell.
I think this
It's
is
just, like,
3D.
perfect. He has the
Straight
concept
up.
of countdown spells.
Yeah, well, if it's 3D,
spells.
it's just like angled it
in
slightly
situations where,
3D.
one
I don't
spell
see if you
triggers the next spell, then that triggers a third
But it's
spell.
just the fact that
You
it's
have these
literally
really
set
cool,
up exactly like it.
cascades of spells firing, and just you can feel really great when it goes well, when you have a good build going.
Awesome. Now, for the people in chat that are asking, this game is called Spell Rogue. Because I'm seeing some questions pop up from, what game is this? This looks awesome. Where do I buy it? You can head on over to Steam and just punch in Spell Rogue and.
God, there's people watching this who like don't know what this is.
All right. Thanks, Torbjørn, for visiting our stream once again, and good luck with update 3. We're looking forward to it, all of us, and we'll see you out there.
Bye bye.
Oh, hello, Infinite December.
That
Looks
was,
like an uglier, worse Slay the Spire. And Slay the Spire 2 just got announced. So why would I get this? Is that true? I mean, I'm sure it
now
is.
we're moving on
It was announced in the Indian.
Oh,
play.
of course,
Another
yeah.
Danish developer, and we're going to meet Michael. He's the founder and also game director on
Downloads.
Downloads.
Also,
which
in
he, actually,
I think I might be
had
like
had
1 second behind you.
happening with a few weeks ago, right?
Yes.
So, but
But,
maybe we should get Michael on the stream and say hello, and then we can.
I will probably go to the toilet at some point during this.
Yeah, we can chat with him.
I'm actually really excited to hear.
You know, before
about Downloads.
But first,
you know they move
why
on
don't
from the
we,
publishing
show
stuff.
The trailer that the Dino Lords guys showed earlier.
Yes.
Let's show.
You're hinting at you want to show the trailer, Mark. I can hear that. So let's show the trailer.
Yes, let's roll it.
Is this just going to be the one they showed at the Triple I thing?
Did you? Oh, yeah, you did see it.
Yeah. I think I checked out once I realised that was the only thing they were showing from Ghost Ship. Which is fine. Because this exists. Yeah.
I do actually really like that.
It looks less generic
Even
than I
without
remember.
And then the dinosaurs.
Well, the dinosaurs are really what show... They make the
game
art
look
style
like a
more clear.
mobile game. The art style is quite solid. It's like, I don't know, almost like the Total War thing or whatever, where you get a bunch of armies with random bullshit. And like slightly polygons. I like it.
It is a good idea. The Ankylosaurus looks. I would use those a lot. I think. Just tanks. That wasn't exactly the same trailer. I don't think actually.
And welcome to
Oh my god, Harry,
on
it's
the
you.
stream.
Thank you. Hi.
Good to see you again.
I do look like everyone.
Yeah. So we last we talked here. That was half a year ago, a little bit more than that, and we announced Dino Lords to our fans.
It's a. I mean, I'm sure there's a Steam
we,
page.
You've been working on it, and then we got this opportunity to be part of the Triple I showcase. Can you tell a bit about that, Michael?
Well, that was exciting. I think only it was like 3 or 4 weeks before
Dino
the actual
Lords.
happening. You poked us saying, "Hey, maybe we could if we could have a trailer ready." And I looked at the team that we were like mid milestone, and we were like, "Yeah, let's drop everything and make a kick."
Okay, I'm gonna go to the toilet now.
And we did that. And
It's
we're
not a bad
so
time.
happy
I almost
to
just muted everything.
doing,
That's not a good idea.
it was such a great event. There was a
Alright,
great
that soon.
games showcase there. And I actually think that our game did like slotted in really well into that lineup. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, the trailer we just saw was that trailer that participated
Yes.
in the Triple I showcase, and a tremendous improvement over the previous trailer. Turned out super cool.
Yeah, we got a much bigger audience this time around, even though we are happy about our stream here and the audience we have there. Of course, the Triple I initiative was a much bigger setup. We took a bit of a gamble going into it. Didn't know what it would be, but I had a good faith in all the cool indies that gathered around to get that to happen. And it worked, right, Michael? We got a lot more wishlist for Dino Lords in a short time.
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, very surprised. I mean, as Søren said, we didn't really know what to expect. We worked really hard on that trailer, and it's always fun when you're this early in the process and you make these sort of like these milestone trailers. Even 6 months, the game actually like has evolved quite a lot. So it's really fun, like having like this new high watermark for the vision of the game. We watched the trailer together actually with Søren at some of our friends' offices.
Tribane, yeah.
Yes, they're also part of the showcase with their excellent What the Car game. And we were just having pizzas and beers, and the trailer came up. It was super cool. Everyone was quiet, and the trailer played, and we popped the champagne and didn't really think more of it. And then suddenly, like my phone just started going crazy, and we were just seeing a lot of press come in on the game, and they were really nice. Like we were being listed in top highlights for the whole showcase, and here we are like this very tiny indie team shoulder to shoulder with some of the indie giants in the industry. So yeah, we're very happy, floored by the response.
Small indies
There's
and
something
giant indies.
super easy to understand about the concept, right? That Søren and I also felt for the first time we met, and you presented the Dino Lords to us, right? Which is dinosaurs and Vikings. It's like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, just like history, real
Just
history,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So the game is gonna be a historical correct game, I guess.
Of course, yes. This is an educational.
And I
So
will
maybe
always
you could
love
talk
you.
a bit about, like where you are with the game. What are you working on?
Yeah.
I visited you a few weeks ago, right? And
Yes.
we talked a lot about where you were at that point. But then since then, you released the trailer and learned even more. So so tell us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have this analogy right now that we are very much in the kitchen cooking. Right?
Hey,
Let us
Scoot.
cook.
So which one of
There
you
are all
guys
these
is Barrel and
ingredients,
which one is Vision?
and it's a
I
bit of a
feel like we've done this
mess,
before.
but we're
Um,
it's definitely moving. And
You're Barrel
I think right
Baron.
now,
Barrel, right?
yes.
are super focused on. I know a lot of people.
Not that
watching
I'm
the
inherently
trailer
in
just
Vision,
wanna
but
hear
it's
about
kind of
dinosaurs.
just like
But we also
Yeah.
have an ambition of making.
it's not really how it
an
works.
interesting,
Neither of us.
I usually call it like a village builder.
I'm definitely. Well, I mean, I'm
city builder,
pretty
right?
definitively more so the
Base
Barrel
builder,
part.
and the milestone that we're in right
Harry
now
really
deep dives
does
into how
want
do we
that
make
to be
this
epic.
really fun to like build up your village, manage your resources, the economics of the game,
It's not like
which is something that
They're
I've
the
been
chuckle
super
vision.
looking
It's
into,
not like
looking forward to getting
always
into
been
because
chuckle
that's
with
like
the
my
original
bread and
vision.
butter as a gamer. I love
That's a good point.
strategy games where you have to
I mean, they were the
harvest
Chuckle
resources,
Brothers, right? I think
refine
their last
them,
name was
turn them into
Chuckle.
weapons, be able to
So I guess we're both
your
barrels
armies,
then, if we
fortify
take
your
it like that.
castles. And so that's part of what we're doing right now. And it's really cool. Like it's one of the things is that we
Sure.
this is a game where you control the Lord, right? You have a main character in the world.
Oh,
And so we think it makes
we're
a lot of
learning
sense
things.
that resources also exist in the world. In many RTS games, resources are this ephemeral thing. You mine some, you harvest some trees, and it goes into like the cloud or whatever, like just this UI panel somewhere.
Yeah.
What we're sort of exploring right now is to.
He really is my
build out
Danish
this
clone,
logistical
isn't he?
network Where you can really follow a log of tree from
More hair.
being cut down to. Like,
He looks more like
moved to the
me than I
logistics
do.
and then moved over to the stockpile and have that.
Like at the moment, that actually works. So
Sawmill, turn it into planks, and have those.
because of my
planks
hair.
turn into the Fletcher, turn it into bows. Put those bows into the hands of archers and have them train with them. I think
Like that statement
if you
isn't
do this
complete
really well,
horseshit.
It sort of turns into like this little anthill kind of thing. You're watching your whole village come together and all the specialists doing their job and the villagers moving around resources and refining them. Yeah, it's really cool. That's some of the stuff that we're focused on right now. I want that base building aspect, the economy aspects of it to be really solid and be something that you can play again and again.
What about dinosaurs?
Yes.
The elephant in the room. Oh, the dinosaur in the room.
dinosaur in the room.
The dinosaurs. Yes, the dinosaurs in the room.
Very good.
It's interesting. Like that's we're, as I said, preface this saying, I know I'm going to go on this stream and talk about economy and logs and woods and stuff like that, and people are just going to be asking about dinosaurs. We're super excited by the response that we've gotten. Everyone's sort of asking like, okay, is it only the Danes that have dinosaurs, or do we get dinosaurs? And I can definitely say that you as the player will also control dinosaurs. And yes, we will also have
That
magical
question?
dinosaurs that you can ride on. Right now, we're still
That's the entire
early,
point.
sort of like fleshing out what kind of gameplay exactly that produces. It's designed to be a very asymmetrical game. The story is that you play as the British, right? And you are sort of overwhelmed by this new power, the dinosaur-powered conflict that the Danes inflict upon you. But as you progress through the game, ideally, you also get access, you unlock this dinosaur technology. And the ideas that we have right now that we're playing around with is this idea of you harvesting eggs and bringing them to a building, a hatchery building, where you can then hatch these different types of dinosaurs. And some dinosaurs would have offensive capabilities, some would be defensive, some would maybe help out in the quarry, enabling an economic boost to that logistical system I just talked about.
Dinosaur slaves.
So dinosaurs are definitely common. And also, as you saw in the trailer, like from the first trailer, if people go back, now we actually have many more dinosaurs in the game. So that's pretty exciting.
The trailer is also hinting a little bit towards that you can be more than one player. Is that right?
Yes. So when your publisher asks if this can be multiplayer, usually some dev teams I think runs away screaming, and we said no.
Yeah.
We also think multiplayer is a great idea. So we've been actually that's another part of the technical foundation that we've been building in, which is sort of networked, making the whole game be ready. For
I
multiplayer
feel like
implementation.
RTSs need to be
Unfortunately, there's no
co-op, personally.
This game multiplayer button in the
sad.
game engine that we're
Like
using.
playing
Yeah,
real-time
it's-
strategy games on your own is kind of whack.
But we've sort of gone through the work of changing.
That's honestly my favourite kind of PvP.
The components of the game.
It's like strategy
network together.
games
And
against
it's
your
really fun.
friends.
Is that like
we're
what,
at
Halo?
the point now where we're having some
Yeah.
albeit slightly buggy,
And you
but
just
really
surprise them
fun,
with, like,
encounters where
you
we
know,
play up to like 4 lords right now.
Scarabs.
And of course we
You're just,
we
like,
murder each other.
Casually talking, and then
Suddenly
like
we're thinking
a
about, could this be
huge
a
army.
PvP
I think that
game?
was what I did every
Yeah,
time.
So yeah, we're exploring that sort of stuff. But right now, like
Yeah.
the focus
was
of
fucking
of-
awesome.
You're a
of
shitter.
the explorations is to see if we can make this a co-op game, right? We want to have that experience of building a castle together with your friends and dividing up the labor. We think that's a really strong fantasy. Like, okay, Søren, you're gonna go scout for Danes on dinosaurs. I'm gonna go make sure that our economy is strong. and then Miguel can man the ramparts and be ready for that next attack.
Oh, it might not be
Trainer will
PvP.
I'll be riding a dinosaur outright,
Of course, yes,
just having fun.
yes.
I'll put Mikkel in
Well,
the kitchen. I think that's.
If it has the capabilities of multiplayer,
Yeah. So yes,
Nothing wrong with that.
network play.
No. That's needed as well.
Someone has to cook.
Someone has to cook. Yeah. And what about the?
This looks like mobile. This looks mobile gamey. Like not an actual mobile game, but the fake gameplay the ad uses. Wow.
Development roadmap.
Yeah, actually, we have some really fun. So the main.
It,
of course,
yeah,
we
that
want,
is
like,
that is what it looks like.
the
Unfortunately,
concept of the game. We're trying to merge.
it's weird. I don't dislike the way it looks though.
Strategy genre with the action RPG genre, and of course we want there to be an itemization system so you can deck out your lord with armor and weapons, and we're sort of experimenting with different kinds of weapons. We have we actually snuck in, like in the latest build, like we snuck in a little Easter egg of like a repeating crossbow, which is like super fun to play with. It shows up.
There you go,
somewhere in
Tyler.
the footage that's on the stream right now. And so yeah, we're playing around with like different weapon types, and it's a balance because we don't want the lord to be like this singular hero person. Like you have to, of course, rely on building out a strong base and have an army and stuff like that. But you can also be kind of cool. I mean, we're gonna have you riding dinosaurs eventually, right?
Yes.
So, but yes, so yeah, we're totally playing around with that.
If people are watching here and gets interested into what is Dino Lords, and I mean, what should they do if they want to, I don't know, be part of your community, follow your game? What should they do?
That's a great question. You should go to Steam right now and click wishlist and follow. This is one of the things that we were so floored about in the last couple of weeks. Our Steam wishlists have just rocketed to like way higher than we ever dared to hope for. Which also means that now
Really?
the community, there's simply just more attention on it, and we can do more with the community. We put more time and effort into it. So yeah, definitely go to
The fact that they got
go to Steam
more
and
wish
hit
list
that
like
wishlist
ads
button.
than they could have
And
ever
if you
imagined.
join our Discord, we have like this ambition of doing like open
Yeah, I mean-
development. We do these devlogs. where
But how
we-
Well,
low are they
you-
setting their
you got
sights?
We also
You get
plan on
lucky
doing
if you
monthly
get
write-ups
played.
of the progress we're making with the game.
It's true.
Definitely come over and build an RTS game with us.
And for release into early access, we're about a year away from that at least, right? Something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's unfair to have like us right after Survivor and Spell Rogue, which is like out there and being like excellent games and completely finished, and we're just still cooking in the kitchen. But yeah, no, it's
Hey, man.
we're hoping for
Nothing wrong with that.
to next year. That's the current plan right now.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, one thing is putting a cool trailer together. Another thing is actually putting a cool game together.
Yes.
It's,
Exactly. Yeah.
Mark, are there any?
Yes, we have a couple actually. So
Yeah.
one of the first question is does this sort of game have an end goal, or is it sort of endless survival?
That's a good question. So we plan on having a lot of the classic RTS mechanics of playing missions. So the idea is you'd play scenarios, and on top of that, we want to have like a progression system. So basically, you could take the best parts of a real-time strategy game where you have a tech tree, maybe, or generally strategy games where you unlock new buildings, for example, and you can have the best parts of an action RPG game, like you have skills that you unlock for your lord, and we kind of want to now kiss on those two concepts. And have them, have you earn points in these missions that you finish, and then place them into these different tech trees, so that you slowly become more strong. So the next time you play, you can build like a different kind of building, or you can get access to a different kind of dinosaur, or you can construct a different kind of weapon. So that's the current idea for the progression of the game. Yeah.
Exciting. Some people have noticed a similarity to a game called Paraworld in a good way. So do you have any
Yes.
inspiration coming from that old gem?
Paraworld is an excellent game. I think most of the team have been playing it and actually replaying it recently. Paraworld is more of a classic RTS game, box.
They got a minute.
Moving it around, where I think we're really trying to push the envelope on like.
This segment's supposed to end at 5:2.
Is anchored to a central person, the Lord. But Paraworld is definitely an inspiration. Of course, like Stronghold is a huge inspiration, like the old classic castle sim from Firefly. Yeah, like there's a lot of inspirations. Of course, we all played vampires and grew up with that, so that's also big in our minds. But yeah, no, Paraworld. Shout out to Paraworld. That's a good game.
And tying into that, will this game feature gameplay elements from the like of like Stronghold or classic Warcraft and games like that?
Yeah, I think, but just by the very nature of this being sort of a castle defense sort of thing, it really just strongly like feels a lot like Stronghold. It has a lot of the same. You will also see if you see some of the economy simulations and the buildings and the resources that we're using in the game and the things that you produce, like they are definitely very inspired by Stronghold. So yeah, no, for sure. Like this idea of being on the castle ramparts and having hordes of enemies
All right, time's up.
you is something that we really loved in Stronghold, and we've tried to heighten that by placing you as the main character inside those battles. So yeah.
That's awesome. I think I've consumed like almost all of your videos at this point, just because I'm super excited for it personally as well. And one thing I've noticed is that a lot of the comments are spammed with steel and scale. So will you
Ooh.
make steel and scale the rock and stone of Dino Lords?
Scale and steel is better.
You will catch anything this wonderful community does. Like
Oh.
it's so amazing.
Yes.
To you know
Oh.
have.
Yeah, you
so much
shouldn't end it with the word with more
coming
syllables.
all our videos, all our streams. Let's make it happen. I mean,
It,
just
steel and
scale
scale
everything. I think that's a.
flows
I mean,
so much
it's
better
never
than
going to
scale
be
and steel.
as cool as rock and stone. But
Okay.
yeah, steel and scale it is. Yes. Let me hear steel and scale in the chat.
Yes, let's bring it.
Yes.
Nice. All right, I have a final question.
Fuck it, I'll make a
Will
poll.
units have matchup? So being like weaker against certain units and stronger against certain units, like how spearmen are good against mounts and stuff like that?
Absolutely. We already have like this what we call a rock paper scissors system in place. So right now, actually, right now on the stream that I'm watching, I'm being absolutely wrecked by like an Ankylosaurus. We call it an Ankyloram. It's really good at knocking down defenses, and archers are just really bad at it because it's so scaled on its back. So they like ranged units doesn't like do any damage to it. So what you really need there is like spearmen to poke at it, right? I think we also have that in the trailer. Like it's surrounded by.
Lagging or am I just
So yeah, we'll definitely
What?
play around with having that.
Am
We'll
I
have,
lagging?
like,
I don't think you're
instant
lagging.
Encounters for units. That's
I'm
part of the design.
struggling?
All right, thanks, Michael, for visiting us here on the stream, and good
was a
luck with
pleasure.
the development. I'm looking forward to my next visit
Yes,
to get hands-on
thank you.
with the iterations of whatever you're cooking in your kitchen.
Yeah, I'm like I'll go back to the kitchen now, but thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Alright.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that was
Alright.
it for the.
All right, Scale and still has
presentation
one
of
vote,
the state of
so I win.
these
We can end the poll.
published games, though we are one
You're
short.
a
I mean, we also have much more.
bastard.
And they are just further into development. I mean, they are definitely working
My
hard at
stream
it.
just stopped fucking
and we'll
working.
get back to them in
Wait,
in
what?
the future.
What?
Just stream that you're watching.
The on the horizon one. I refreshed it.
On the
But apparently
horizon.
it's not live. Live.
But, yeah, we decided
Wait, what? Are you good?
Oh, teams up.
All right.
on them, but look forward to it. Join them, wishlist them. It's gonna be cool.
Yes. But now we move into the next segment where we're going to focus a bit back on Ghost Ship games and what happens
And
here.
it's sort
right?
of like a recap, right? Because
it's
we're
also a
also
recap,
going to
yeah.
be look at the games that we've just been talking about now
Yeah.
and just giving you some dates and giving you an overview of everything happening.
Putting everything on a timeline so you can better understand how we are prioritizing things, and we'll also give a bit of insight into why we are doing it like this. So
But let's see the roadmap.
So on the left side here, we have basically what we've just been talking about, what happens in 2024, this year.
Yeah.
The next two updates from Spellrogue and Survivor coming out in the pretty.
Oh wow,
in
they
the
actually
future.
have
And then following that,
Core
we have
TBA.
Yes.
big,
And
It
more
is
about that
very delayed.
in 10 minutes or 15 minutes when
And then
Mike
season 6
will
has to
join
be
the
after.
stream. But and then in Q3 we will
I think it's technically supposed to be under
have another update
Q2.
for Deep Rock Survivor and basically just more updates.
Yeah, for us
that
also
has not been
for
decided yet.
Spellrogue, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will continue for the rest of the year with gameplay content updates. We will likely have a release of 1.0 for Spellrogue in 2025. Of course, now we're moving into a future that is almost a year from now, and anything in game development, we've been at this for 20, 25 years, and when you talk about things that are 12 months ahead, it's shaky.
Okay, something happened because
we'll
like,
try anyways. Just
Rogue Core
to
closed
be honest with
alpha.
Spellrogue,
That's
we
more
imagine
ridiculous because that was
coming
meant to be
in
out
Q1,
already originally.
next year.
That's
That was the
already
original
supposed to
plan.
Must
happen.
continue its journey.
Then when we move into Rogue Core,
Yeah.
I think on the last Horizon we presented a roadmap
Yeah.
where we were saying that we would have a closed alpha on Rogue Core around now.
We were a bit optimistic.
That is clearly not happening right now. So
Sorry.
we are planning for that in Q1 2025. And then moving on, we have Dino Lords. I can't see the.
No. So as we heard from Michael, in about a year from now, we are expecting Dino Lords to launch into early access if all things move along as planned. And then instead of saying Q something, it starts saying to be announced, because with Survivor for Deep Rock, there are a lot of unknowns on how much content we actually, or the team, or Funday wants to put in before we go into 1.0. So as it is right now, that's just sometimes next year.
Yeah.
That will enter 1.0. And the same is true for the early access release of Dark Swarm. They are testing out a lot of cool stuff, putting a lot of elements together. But right now, it's not really possible to say any exact point in next year when that will go into early access.
And again, I mean, we're aiming for a closed alpha on Rogue Core in Q1, right? And that means again that an early access launch on Rogue Core will happen sometimes after that. Probably, I don't know. We need maybe a half a year to maybe more to wrap the game up based on the learnings that we'll get from a closed alpha.
Fucking hell.
For sure.
So again, to be announced. We are not ready to set any launch date. And then a lot of you out there is probably wondering when after season 5 will there be new stuff for Deep Rock Galactic? And one of the things that we have experienced during the last year has been then we've been trying to do two things at the same time, both trying to get Rogue Core out and then still trying to support Deep Rock Galactic with a season 4 and 2 maintenance update, now season 5.
Yeah.
And the truth is that we realized that it is really difficult for us as a small studio to do two things at the same time. For example, right now we're working on season 5. That means that for the last 3 to 4 months, no one has actually been working on Rogue Core.
No.
And this is also why we have been pushing Rogue Core pretty far out into the future, because we've basically been a lot delayed on the development of Rogue Core. So with Deep Rock Galactic, we have made the decision that we are not gonna plan or think about season 6 until we are done with Rogue Core.
So that we know what we are facing.
That makes sense.
I told you,
for
dude.
season
how well
6.
has Rogue Core
What?
been received, and what should we do about that? And
I told you that there was going to be some, like, they always managed to fuck it up. This is absolutely horrendous. It's going to go down so poorly.
Happening, like the holiday season holiday events, right?
Yeah.
And
But this is like, this is just like,
I'm going to
what it is.
I'm going to let them talk.
And doing something big as a
yeah, no,
season is we
I
just
talk
realized
about it
that
after.
it's really difficult for us. Basically, when we're working on stuff, we want to perform 110% on that. We want to, do whatever we're working on. We want to make it the best that it can be. And we just realized that it's very difficult for us to, do two things. So this is why we have made this decision.
All right. the next segment, I guess, is on
I think
you
maybe
and
we take
Mike.
some
But maybe
questions.
we can take some questions right
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
to see the
Sure.
reactions from.
They wanted to
So
move
I have
on, and
more
Mark's just like, no, no, no,
personal
no,
question
no.
to start off.
Wait.
Do we have any plans for more new merchandise?
Oh, great.
Yes.
What a question.
But it's complicated. We are still a bit bummed out about that the for fans by fans setup ended up not existing anymore. They did produce some really cool stuff, even though it was only easily accessible in the US because of shipments
Shipping.
and so on. And we've been working on the sideline to set up something new. It is not our business. I mean, we going into merchandise and suddenly it's about physical products, right? And that's just a much different, very different type of business. But we are collaborating or talking about discussing collaborations with some partners that have worldwide shipment setups, and hopefully we'll be able to announce something maybe on the horizon stream.
Cool. I mean, we are into cool merchandise for Deep Rock Galactic, right? I mean, just
yeah,
because
we
we're
really
a fan
wanted
of the
to
game
happen.
ourselves, so
we really wanted to have with all this fan produced merchandise here, and we just want to make it on a scale where it can be available to all of you, of course.
And that's where we lack. I mean, the whole the business side of it is just very we're out of our league somehow.
It's complex. It's complicated.
Yeah.
So I have a roll call question. I'm not sure if we can share any details on it, but how can people join the closed alpha of Rogue Core once that happens?
That is a bit too early, but clearly, if you wishlist Rogue Core, if you, I think do we have a unique Discord server set up for Rogue Core? I think we have, right? Or maybe we haven't.
No, we're using our own.
No, not yet. No, we use Deep Rock Galactic. Yeah, so then just join the Deep Rock Galactic, and we'll make sure to give more information when we get ready for that.
So we had some experience with the other published games of how to use the new, new playtesting systems on Steam, on the Steam platform, and they're actually quite good. So it's likely that we will also take advantage of that, but it's not been decided yet.
No, and again, we also need to find a format where we can actually, I don't know, make some kind of a meaningful demo out of Rogue Core for this to work. So right now we have set a closed alpha, which could mean many things. One thing it could mean is that we will only let selected people in, a selected few, so not necessarily a public playtest. Yeah. So what Alex is saying in the background is, if people are following Rogue Core on Steam, they will be the first to know what is going on.
We're posting it.
It will get posted straight to Battle-Vision.
And I will promise that, I mean, on the
I don't know, anything they post on there.
Oh yeah.
Become more active in
I mean, I have the
stuff
page
about
open.
Rogue Core. I know we have not been. We've been dreaming about
I'll
being
get both
more
Deep Rock
active
and
in
Rogue
the
Core
open
open.
development of Rogue Core, but again, we've been struggling with balancing Deep Rock and Rogue Core at the same time.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Cool. I have a question. Will the Embraces split have any impact for you, or are you good going business as usual?
The last one. We are just good business as usual, and actually I think it's a good move, and I think it will place us even better for the future. We have been, as promised, been allowed to do our own stuff here at Ghost Ship, and we will keep doing that for the future. We are in the group of Embracer being looked upon as someone who's really good at early access in Steam, and we'll keep improving that so we keep ahead, and that will also be our part in the new structure that will be taking on that role as those who knows that platform really well.
Cool. So for Deep Rock Galactic, do you plan on doing smaller updates in the style of the maintenance updates more frequently throughout 2024 and 2025?
Surely not more frequently.
The answer a bit quiet to what I just said. I mean, it needs. We are not gonna say we're gonna say no to that right now because we need to focus on rogue core. And again, we cannot either say that it's not gonna happen, but we are not gonna put it up on a roadmap like we did after season 4, where we promised.
That's interesting.
Updates. We're basically not
As
gonna.
if season 5 couldn't. I thought season 5 had enough pressure.
After season 5, it's gonna be rogue core full steam.
That's not fair on season.
And a final rogue
It's
core
fair on
news
them because
will
it's their
be,
decision, but it's not fair on
upgrades
season
will all
5.
be the same as it is in Deep Rock Survivor.
100% no.
Perfect. Nice. Well, on that note, let's bring in Mike for the season 5 segment.
Come on, Mike.
shall we?
I'll say goodbye to all of you, and good day to Mike coming in and taking my hot seat. I've warmed the seat, Mike.
So just for everyone watching, we're doing.
Hey,
a
he's got
quick
my
swap of
haircut. He's
mics,
got
and
my.
then we'll be back. Very both.
All right. So while they're doing this, they just
I don't know.
announced that they are completely Deep Rock after season 5 in its entirety. They are not going to be touching it, and
We don't.
they're only going to be coming back after they start, like Rogue Core, but also that Rogue Core has been delayed to a indeterminable date that is probably going to be like later, go through next year or something.
Yeah.
So they just said season 6 is basically probably 2 years or so away, essentially.
Oh, one sec. We have a small audio
Because
issue
they
for you
said,
guys. Sorry. 1 second.
the closed alpha, quarter 2, right? Is
1.
what it said.
No, close
And
out
they-
was quarter 1.
1.
1 sec.
All right. It would take about 6 months.
Yes,
for
that-
them,
yeah.
make-
Try to say something.
yeah. So later, like Rogue Core is going to be around quarter 3, hopefully next year,
Can't hear us.
and then it would take them still another like 5 to 6 months to release. So we are looking at
Sorry about that, guys.
maybe season 6 at the end of next year. Maybe.
We're good.
It's muted. Alrighty.
All right, let's go, guys.
Okay,
Freak.
okay, that was off to a. It's fine.
Absolutely
Let's hit it.
crazy.
Yes, let's hit it. No, anyways, Mike and I, we're gonna take you all through season 5 of Deep Rock Galactic.
But for now, we got season 5.
You have to focus on it.
I'm gonna show you.
You have to.
So.
And they seem.
Let me just.
I
say
think
the
they're
name. We're
excited.
not gonna show you any video, so we're gonna show you some pictures, screenshots, old school screenshots of a lot of the features we have, and then later you're gonna see it all in motion.
Yeah.
But for now, it's just gonna be like that. So, and we have a long list of stuff that we want to go through, take you through, and Mark has been working on hooking it all up. So maybe you can just bring it up on the screen.
Oh shit!
There it is.
It's something like that.
Here's it. And obviously the first thing is
New
that
difficulty?
here is the theme of
What?
Deeper.
it's drilling.
The
deeper.
fuck are you talking about?
It's drilling deeper. And so what is the theme really? So it is not a disease coming to Oxus.
No.
It is not rival robots or anything else that is
No.
threatening.
Unfortunately.
This is basically Deep Rock Galactic, the mining corporation, looking into expand their business.
Yes.
They have, I don't know, maybe they've been exhausting the upper layers of Foxes, and now they need to go deeper in search for precious minerals.
Yes.
Yeah, like Expedite.
Always need more.
Always need more, always want to increase your wealth. Not for the dwarves, but for the...
I don't like that key art I can see because that just looks like a new biome, and I know it's not.
And they also found something new, which... so this is like setting the setting, and then we have the new mission.
Yes.
And what's
Oh.
going on with the new
Yeah.
mission, Mike?
So name, as you can see, is Deep Scan, and
Well, there you go.
to quickly take you through the missions. So Deep Rock Galactic has found a new source of Morkite, or specifically maybe the original source of Morkite.
Oh, it's Morkite again.
Something that's called Morkite seeds, and these seeds are located very deep inside Hoxus, inside this kind of we're calling it a Morkite geode.
Yeah.
Kind of enclosed hollow rock. It's all shiny and sparkly inside, and the mission is about performing deep scans inside
That
a
framework.
fairly complex cave system.
Just spotted the
In an
difficulty
attempt
thing.
to find.
Yeah, the
this.
geode with the Morkai.
Oh,
sits in
well,
there.
I
And I can
didn't-
just add a little bit of lore to this
Resonance
thing.
target proximity.
We don't, the dwarf, let me say it that way,
Yeah.
don't necessarily know what it is being used for, but maybe the seeds are being used to cultivate Morkite, like offsite
Yeah.
hoxes in a controlled environment, and that's
Growing Morkite
obviously
in a dish.
easier. Yeah, so it potentially could put out the dwarfs
Yes.
of work, right?
But think of the
Right,
process.
is this paint
Yeah,
job
exactly.
thing?
Anyways,
Paint jobs, I think, is new. It
Going
might
through,
be
so you
the
start
framework's
off,
default paint job.
that you need to find
Right, so the
resonance
framework's also
crystals.
new then.
And,
Yes.
Because
you're
I
doing
think,
that
yeah,
using
that's-
a telemetric rangefinder, and you see its readout in the upper left-hand corner of the screen there, and it pretty much shows the distance to the nearest crystal, and it's pretty much kind of the beginning of this mission is a bit of a
It's cute.
treasure hunt, a little bit of this hot-cold gameplay as you're trying to make your way to the crystal, both using the rangefinder, but also combining it with your terrain scanner, the 3D map. So trying to figure out, okay, so it's 30 meters away from me. It's not in this room. Where can it be? And
so the bar you have up there,
Yeah.
right? That is actually sort of like it's going beep, 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 and then it's showcasing you or showing you how close you are to a resonance crystal.
Yeah.
Right. So and that's where the hot cold come from.
exactly.
So when it's like when it's beeping out in the whole full bar, you are standing right on top of a resonance crystal.
Exactly, and then you can start digging.
Yeah.
And as you dig down, because there is no visual signifier of the crystal above ground, so you have to
What are they
find the
up
right
to?
spot, start digging, and then you'll start finding a different material below the rock. And as you dig through that, you then expose the crystal, and you can see there the tip of the crystal being shown. Then what you do is you call
That is
down
not
a,
finished.
resonance scanner
Oh,
hook
oh
it up.
god.
To the crystal, and then they're able to perform a deep scan using this. And then you do this multiple times until the location of the geode has been
Triangulated.
Look at that scout's legs.
I don't know.
Oh no, that's armor.
Triangulated,
Sorry,
if
that's
you
armor.
choose
It's
four.
just white paint.
We're still we're still working on the mission.
We're
right?
still-
so
yeah.
it's there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah,
for us.
actually just came down from a playtest with Jonas, but
Okay. Cool.
but yeah. So you do that, and then once the geode is located, mission control is going to send down from orbit a drill
Watch
elevator.
this.
Drill of it.
Oh my god!
And it's a new piece of machinery that is intended to be able to go down through the hard rock.
They're
and
doing
actually
the
break
vertical.
through the geode. So all the dwarves get on the drill elevator.
Drill-elevator.
Supply beforehand, and start it. And so it begins to dig down. At
You're
a,
going deep, right?
You're going deep. You're going very deep. And so you're going down this shaft, and it's of course also making a lot of noise.
Not so simple now. Not so.
All the locals.
Yep.
And,
Is this like a finale
having
part of the mission
Yeah.
though, or something?
So it is pretty much this kind of.
But I think
elevator
that
battle as
you only
are,
do
going
once.
downwards, shooting upwards.
I wanted
And
this
also
though.
maintaining the drill elevator as it's overheating. You need to keep it running nice and smooth. You will hit along the way.
Overheating,
some,
not
patches of
being
harder
damaged
rock
by
as you slow
enemies,
down the
though,
drill
I
elevator,
think.
allowing the enemies to catch up. So it's kind of you are balancing this, thinning them out,
No.
maintaining the drill elevator, also making sure getting any of them that get on the elevator, getting them off, and then eventually the drill elevator will get to the geode and break through.
It's really cool, right?
Oh,
I mean,
fucking hell.
This thing about
Yeah.
shooting up in a hole and having the enemies come down there, right?
Yeah.
That creates
Geode
that
room
effect,
that's
like you're just
spicy.
raining with dead
Yes,
dogs, right?
yes.
That's
Yeah.
that's
You
what
are
we
literally
call an
deep in the
actual
dead.
mini
Yeah,
biome.
Which is pretty cool.
It feels quite crazy.
Uh,
And then you get down here, and then you have to locate a number of Morkite seeds, harvest those, stuff them in Molly, and you're ready for extraction. At which point we also have some special extraction jet propulsion in there.
Yeah, because I mean we've been playing around with. I mean, are we sending the drop pod in here or not? But then we said, oh wait a minute, we have like this long hole, right? That could be super cool if you could jet boot your way out of.
So
that.
it gives you jet
Basically,
boots.
on board the elevator,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a box or a hidden compartment.
I respect
So
that.
to
Extraction
have like a
They're special.
Yeah, they're special.
Yeah, they
When
can't
you,
have fuel.
When you finish the mission,
They
the
can't
jet will open and you
Yeah.
get access to the extraction jet boots, and then you'll just fly up and get on board the drop pod and then leave the mission.
Yeah, exactly. So you come out of the hole. The drop pod is somewhere in the cave system, somewhat nearby, but there is still also an extraction phase
Mhm.
where you are running through the caves trying to get to the drop pod, though the boots do make that easier. And then You're done.
That's still more complicated than we were expecting.
Mission
But
I think it's like one. There's like
So,
one
yeah, that's
big
the
part
new mission.
sandwiched in the end. Like that's
there's
it.
more.
though.
But
Oh my
there's
god.
more- just before
Oh,
we
event,
move on,
okay.
I just want
Be
to
careful.
here behind. Is sound okay? Sound is okay. Cool.
I mean, I assume
Yeah, but
that
then
must
let's just
that
continue.
must be
So then
expert
we
night,
have,
right? Come
for
on.
Season 5, we also have a season event.
Yeah, as usual. A way for you to
Usual.
get script.
Wait for you to go script, and we're not gonna say much about it now.
No, but it looks like this.
It looks like this. You are gonna be hunting for something
Oh,
called
new
another
minerals.
mineral that Deep Rock has discovered, which is called core stone.
Fucking hell!
And,
What?
the core
Is
stone
expert night
in
real?
in
Is
the
expert
rock formation you see here.
Yes.
And
that's it.
And that's it. Then,
A
I think
mining-oriented
we'll
event
keep
is
that
actually-
and then we'll
that's a good
reveal,
direction to
what's
take it,
actually
at
happening
least.
here at a later stage.
Yeah.
Coming closer to the launch
Nice
of season 5 in
Yes.
June.
although apparently there is
Nothing
more
more
to
to it
it.
as they get out of
There's
it.
definitely
There's got to be more to
than
it than just mining a big rock.
And then let's move over to new enemies.
Yes.
That's a
We have few
spitballer
of
of
those.
sorts.
We have a few, and we have actually like stationary enemies, which is something we haven't been doing for a long time.
It's not a
I think
redesign
the
though.
last stationary thing we did was maybe the core lock, and that's like kind of like a big thing.
Well, the robots,
Before that.
guys.
I think that must have been the
Yeah.
caller. Yeah. So we're doing 2 new ones here, and the
You have
first
2
one is
stationary
the
enemies.
Barrage Infector,
Yes.
which is just like the Spitballer Infector. They are sort of like in family.
They're sort of family, but there's a big difference. So this
Yeah.
one is a bit more of an
The
area denial
septic spreader
hazard.
spitballer.
So it's shooting out a barrage, almost like
fucking
a
hell.
shotgun shot. Of
I
these,
can already tell I'm gonna hate him so much. I love it.
Balls that are going to be landing around where the dwarves are. and
Barrage
then they don't
infector.
kind of just damage on impact.
We
but
have
instead
to
they're kind of
assume that they're not
become
going
like
to increase the
bombs.
amount of the
So
stationary
you have to
enemies.
get out of the way before
I
they
don't
start
want this-
exploding, dealing massive
I want this in
damage, so
place of what
it's,
a
kind of
normal
moving dwarves
spitballer.
around.
Yeah.
Um,
I just
That-
want to mention that
Otherwise
the
it's business
comments
usual.
are trying to name that
Shoot it.
dual
Shoot it in the
we-
glowy parts for extra shooty action, and take it out before it takes you out.
And then the next enemy we have is called the Vartrox.
Whoa.
Oh no!
And contrary to the image you see here, this is mostly gonna be spawning on walls and in ceilings.
Oh nice.
I mean,
yeah.
opposite to the Spitballers, which are
Well,
normally
that's actually something we
ground,
needed.
right?
The stationary enemy
And the
based
special
on
thing about
walls
this is that you
and
cannot just
ceilings,
shoot
but
it, right?
Yeah.
Cave
No,
Feature is
you can see
exclusive
the
to
three,
ceilings. Everything else is on the floor.
Glowy bits attached with
Nodules.
nodules. Yes, I think that's the term we're going with. And the idea here is that
It looks like
the
something from
central core,
Scorn. It
part,
looks like-
which is also a ranged attacker. Kind of, you can see it is
It's
shooting
shooting
at
at
you,
you.
shooting around at the dwarves. That part is initially too well defended, and you have to take out all 3 of these nodules to make it vulnerable. At which point you are then able to take out the entire scale bramble. And the idea here is that you have this like dangerous
press the
source
stationary.
of damage, and you have to move around it
Scale
through the
bramble.
area that it is defending, looking for these weak points.
Yeah, and I can also say another thing, which is that the nodules are further away from the scale bramble than what you see on this.
Rival
image.
com router,
Yes,
the enemy.
Yes.
So, so this is
Yeah.
not representative
Which I
of
don't hate.
actual
The fact that its weak points aren't attached to it. Like,
All right, and then
to find them.
here we actually have.
oh, he's
another
there!
enemy.
He's
We've seen
hiding!
this,
He was there the whole
before,
time! He was there the
and I
whole
don't know if you noticed it,
There's a stalker in there.
but there's a stalker. There's actually an enemy in here, and I'll just give you a second to see if you can spot it. And you didn't.
It's
spot
like
it
a bit
when
like
you
the
died.
Unknown Horror
but Mark-
style, but a bit more invisible than
Thriller,
that.
no. But Mark, let's see. Yeah, so the stalker is sitting here. And
That's a
maybe,
thumbnail.
Mike,
That's a
you could tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about how it's working.
Sure. So this is an enemy that is not kind of part of the large group of bugs that are coming in. It's not part of the horde. Instead, it is actually trying to sneak up onto the dwarves.
Okay, is it
taking,
big or not? I can't
off
actually.
in different routes.
The first
it is
picture
very
wasn't
hard to
big.
see.
Meaty by the looks
It is
of
very
it.
quiet until it is within a
I feel like they're not
closer,
going to show it
distance. Although it does make its own
invisible.
presence known, so you have an idea that there is a stalker around, but now you have to search for it, find it, spot
It
it
looks like he's got
before
like
it gets to you, and then it actually will kind of have a bit of a battle cry to kind of the final tell before it attacks you. And its attack is quite nasty, where it has a kind of an electric attack that will disable your shields for a short period of time.
Oh, fuck
as well
off.
as dealing damage. So it makes you vulnerable after the
That
attack.
is nasty.
They don't need
So
new
it is a
difficulty
priority
if they're doing all
target, but
this.
one that is, hard to see.
Yeah.
Although new
I think
difficulty
If
doesn't
you guys
mean
out there have an
more
idea
difficult.
about the flavor or how it's feeling.
Yeah, well,
It's a little
that's-
bit
That's
like
what I'm
the
thinking
interesting,
about.
because
But we'll see
there is
soon.
no reason why
Little Menace,
they're
right?
not just going to
Little Menace
add
also has the thing
difficulty
that is
6,
Don't-
right?
Tyler,
Or it has
it's
this-
like they'll be like, we'll see it in like 5 or 10 minutes at
It's the
most.
same thing here.
I
You're going
know.
to be attacked by this guy, and then you really want to prioritize the stalker as your next target because
Yeah,
it's super annoying to have that guy around.
Yes. In some ways, it's a mix of the menace and the grabber, in the sense
Yeah.
that I mean, the menace, of course, will do a lot of damage, but the grabber can also really disrupt
Yeah.
an individual, the dwarf that it selects as target.
Yeah.
So
So it's a high priority target when it comes around. All right, and then we have new overclocks.
yes. So the enemies get something, and the players get something as well. And we did make new overclocks. These are only for the primary weapons right now. No secondary weapons here. That's why it's 12. And we're not
Might
gonna go
take
through
a while
all
for
here,
that to
but,
happen.
Yeah.
selected a few, and I mean, overall,
I
a lot
haven't
of
seen
things
it,
are
but I
very
know it.
exciting, but
Oh,
we just wanted to show you a few, and also in a wide range of kind of what they do. So on the more kind of changing the way the gun feels,
Oh my God,
we
it is a
have the
blow-through
pump
one.
action.
The
And this
Warthog.
is for the engineer's
yippee.
And it's a
shotgun. and
2
it is turning
round,
his,
like,
semi-automatic
2 clip, I
shotgun
think,
into
is the
a
idea.
pump action style shotgun. So we have a reduced rate of fire, but on the positive side, you have much more damage, and you also actually have a tighter spread. So you are making.
So
the
it's like a
shot count
slug.
a bit more. You also have less ammo.
Mhm.
Pretty much, the shotgun has been modified.
like
to
the
launch
Olympia.
larger shells.
Wait, hold on. What they're
What is
saying there
the-
is
what is
wrong.
the
Those
downside
numbers
to
are
this
wrong.
one?
They
Because
said
it's an
they said it's actually reduced
Yeah, yeah.
spread.
So of course, a big thing here is that ammo capacity and also kind of how many you can.
Are they
put
just gonna
into the
spoil
tube,
all of them?
or the magazine in the case of this shotgun, which is a magazine-fed shotgun.
This one
uh,
is.
is
Oh, they can't
is
go all of
reduced.
them.
So again, you have to make each shot count more.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
cannot just,
disable's full
spray,
auto. So I guess that's makes turret
indiscriminately
whip an
the way you
automatic
can
pick
more
then.
with this shotgun. So
Yeah.
it's unstable because it changes
Yeah.
the way you play with the gun.
But
quite a
also,
bit, not
why
because
would you
necessarily it
pick
does
turret
anything
whip?
crazy.
Would it be fair to say that it's going towards in thousands?
You have a lot less ammo.
In the sense that you,
No, because it's still a shotgun, so it's still very close ranged
Yeah.
in that sense.
okay.
But it is,
With the
of course,
higher
hitting much
precision,
harder.
yeah,
Much
yeah,
harder. But at the same time, still, it's not that you are aiming for weak points unless you are
No.
literally.
You're
kind
just
of,
turning it
up
into the
against,
boomstick.
target. But again, like to give an example, this is something
Yes.
that can, especially depending on how you build the gun around this prototype, you're able to one-shot grunts off walls from a decent distance. Something that
That's
normally this
good.
shotgun requires 2-3
Yeah, I thought I-
shots to do because of
What?
how damage that does. Then
Oh,
next
fun
up,
hit.
we have for the gunner.
Mortar.
And this is for the autocannon. It's
Mortar?
round.
How?
And we'll kind of we try to see how far we can crank the whole AOE.
I guess they probably just have fall off, so you
absolutely,
have to aim up.
Destroying an area with this
Yeah.
handheld cannon.
Handheld missile strikes.
Yeah, well, I mean they are still falling, right? So they're unpowered, and this time the rounds are so big. Normally, by the way, to anybody who doesn't know, the autocannon is a hit scan weapon. And this overclock actually shifts it.
That is actually
lobbing an
significant.
actual projectile that is
That it changes it
flying
to
through space, is
projectile.
being affected by gravity,
Yeah.
and on impact does a tremendous amount of damage, has a huge area of effect. But on the big downside of it is also has a lot of friendly fire, self damage. You can kind of think of it
So
as
it's like
a
big
small
explosions.
full auto PGL.
So
Which
good thing the driller doesn't have access to this gun.
Probably more like
sure.
each shot is like
But it's a little bit more of like it turns it
PG,
into a little
maybe,
more of an expert
hopefully.
weapon where you really have to think about when to use it, and especially recognize situations where you cannot.
Like I feel like the ammo
if
decrease
enemies
might
are
be
right in your face, using it,
weirdly
has
big.
has a cost. If your friends
Significantly,
are, in place
like-
shooting again, using it has a cost, so you have to switch to your secondary, relocate, do other things like that. So very very good.
So I assume they're not gonna show all of them if they're showing the thumb
head for a
second.
Probably one per.
Cool.
One per
So
class.
Next up, Inferno. This is for the driller.
Uh-huh.
And it is for the
Oh my God.
CRISPR flamethrower, and what we're actually doing here is adding an option. You hold R for a little while. There's a bar that fills up, and then
At least they're doing it differently. Like, you know, they're doing something reload on a weapon that reloads.
and shoots it out as a projectile,
button.
a horizontal line that is moving forward, burning everything in its path, and also leaving behind a carpet of flames. So it's
Jesus Christ.
It
Like-
doesn't change how the gun shoots in its primary form. It instead adds a secondary form.
No one's going to be using it normally with this mic.
Sounds to me a little bit like a
It
breach.
doesn't matter that the normal gun's
Yeah,
intact.
I
It
think the
doesn't...
Breach Cutter is
But,
the closest to what we have now.
Yeah.
In that,
What about the ice spear and the cryo also?
yeah. So the cryo cannon has had this whole thing of having an alternate fire mode, where you were holding or pressing R on the cryo cannon because it doesn't have a reload function.
Yeah.
So we could have it more snappy. Here instead, it is quite powerful, and it is also, but it is not. Unlike Ice Spear, which kind of gives the cryo cannon long range pinpoint, but good accuracy anyway. This is has multiple uses. So you can use it up close
Right.
as a way to kind of just
You have to hold
immediately set a lot of enemies
Yeah.
on fire, as a way to also place down a lot of sticky flames, but at the same time also as a way to get flames further than the CRISPR normally does, and yeah, so it gives you other options with this gun.
Cool.
And then last but not least, we have Marked for Death for the Scout, and this is going on the
Focus shot
M1000.
makes enemies temporarily take
And,
more
with
damage.
this overclock, what we're trying to do is actually take the M1000's focus shot, which is normally a very high damage and high instant damage option for the Scout, and turn it instead into a debuff. So using the focus shot, the M1000 instead shoots out kind of like a special tracking dart, which then will make the hit target take a lot more damage from all other sources, whether it is the Scout or his teammates or grenades or anything like that.
So I thought it's a...
The
Oh,
idea
well,
here is that
overclock.
you are marking the target or multiple targets with the Scout's charge shot on the M1000, and then whether solo or in a team, you're able to focus on this target. And the target gets also highlighted when this happens. It gets a red outline around it to kind of to help organize the team. Say like, okay, this is now a priority target. That's a priority target. And
Honestly,
it's quite cool
the
because
M1000, I
it
think, is
changes
quite
how you
fair.
play with
It's
the
not
gun.
like there's much else they could have done.
I don't know if you played the.
Yeah, it's not. It's a good
But
idea.
changed it much.
Reminds me a bit
Um,
of how you were implementing the flares, because the flare, if you shoot the flare on an enemy in the board game,
It does this.
it basically does this. It makes the enemy way more vulnerable.
So, very much on that, but
yeah.
placed on the Scouts M1000.
Yeah, very cool. And obviously we have 8 more.
We have 8 more, yes.
8, 9 maybe. It doesn't
12.
do-
No, okay, so the thing is that we do have 12 overclocks, but we also have
Oh, cool.
13th, which is just a heavy rework of an existing overclock. Which you,
Okay.
I think we
Give it
will
the time
we will
comes.
talk more about the overclocks in the coming
Reatomizer?
launch.
Definitely.
Yeah. So moving on, obviously a new.
You start with the eyebrows.
With a bunch of new cool cosmetics.
That is a monobrow.
It's a true monobrow.
This is like the first time they've added eyebrows.
We see some of them here. They're like hairstyles, hats, beards.
Those fucking lizard
Yes,
eyes.
beard.
Beards,
I don't know.
and so on. So
Cut.
a lot of cool things. Of course, one of the main thing on the menu in the season pass and the cosmetic tree is a new weapon framework, and
Yeah, we have that as well.
we have that as well. The
There it
Neo,
is.
we call it the Neo Tech,
Yeah.
and it's super cool.
I want to see it with different colours.
I like those colours though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
I remember this one. This was
Yeah.
actually in
But
like the
not
old
that.
concept
season
art from
pass,
like years
all
back.
all that stuff is
It made it.
completely free, as always.
Yeah.
Business
Business as usual.
as usual.
And again,
It is like Builder's Choice, but futuristic.
Season 5, besides of course
Bits of-
themed,
it's
it's
like,
different,
But better than
it's
that.
slightly different.
Whatever.
Uh,
Ooh.
So yeah. Then new.
Oh, it
gift
has a web
program.
plus.
This
Oh, there's
is,
blood sugar.
something
It's
that
normally
has
for you.
been, a highly requested feature is like a Hazard 6, right?
Yeah.
We've been hearing that like from almost,
Assignment beyond lethal.
almost since we
Oh,
introduced
Hazard
Hazard 5. For those people who don't know, when the game launched, we only had 4 hazard levels.
It so they're modifiers that you can turn on,
And then
That's it.
there's been power creep.
and you can randomize as well.
buffing
I think is that something
and
else?
so on, and
It's
then
on the
there's
bottom
been
left. I think that's like a. So, I think
uh,
that's just random join mission. That's something else.
that didn't stop people from asking for more pain.
No, and I mean
And
there are
fun.
mods that are taking the game way beyond this in
Yeah.
terms of difficulty.
Blood sugar. I seen that makes enemies
anyways,
drop
we've
red
been
sugar.
Discussing it a lot, what to do with a Hazard 6. And
Oh!
we really didn't.
You didn't notice the
I was
anomaly?
wondering what you were on about.
Hazard 6 that we could be standing.
Got that in there as well.
No, I think it was hard for us
Yeah.
to just turn them up. So
Crazy
what we have done
bastards.
instead is that we made a system where you can go in and play an assignment in order to unlock Hazard 5 Plus.
Don't call it Hazard 6.
No, it's not Hazard 6. It's a 5 Plus.
It's not
The
Hazard. It's
reason why it
different.
has a
Ooh,
5 Plus
two of
is
them.
it
Nice.
puts the power
What?
in the player hands to actually.
You can like
Oh,
it's
there's,
like
like-
it's not just more enemies. It's like more enemies and even
the
more
difference-
enemies.
Christ almighty.
Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So
More
Hazard 5
enemies
Plus
is gonna be
consists of,
popular for
four,
everyone.
difficulty
Yeah,
modifiers.
and us.
I think we're on that
you
on,
are able
right?
to apply
Like-
to a baseline.
That's what we
of Hazard
wanted.
5.
As like a
you see them on
mutator.
screen right now, and the idea is that each one kind of affects a separate aspect of difficulty, and you can mix and match. They also have multiple stages, so kind of you can choose how far you want to crank this. You can crank all of them to 100. You can take one a little bit, the other one more, ignore a third.
Try not
as
to
you want.
grin
And
too much.
Just kind of quickly go through them. So we have things like aggressive
This
enemies.
is fucking-
which
this is really cool, actually.
changing Kind of how
It
fast the enemies
is something
are,
they
both in
needed to
their
do
movement, but
if the
also
game's
in,
not going to get an update.
Yeah.
And
the speed of
literally
the projectiles that
any
they shoot.
form of
Generally
update
making the
for
enemies
a
more dangerous,
minimum
but
of
not
a
by
year.
cranking their damage, but instead by
This is the
cranking their aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Avoiding damage becomes harder. On the other side, we have player vulnerability, which is making pretty much all damage sources around you, including your teammates.
Friendly fire,
yeah.
hot rock, poisonous clouds, everything will hurt you more, right?
Yeah, completely. And the only thing that is not affected is fall damage from gravity. So that kind of because players build up kind of an internal sense for what is dangerous to fall off, what not, and we want to leave that
that's
alone.
totally fair, right? That would be super weird if you suddenly step over on a small ledge and die.
Yes. Exactly. And then we have more enemies, which is what it is. We're increasing not only the enemy spawns, but also the max cap of how many enemies can be active at once. And
Again, some of these things are gonna probably affect like frame rate and stuff.
Yep,
like that.
obviously.
People who are
And it
spawning
should.
game on lower systems. So again, also a reason why
We can only hope
we
the
didn't know that we could just, like,
Xbox can
just do
handle
a
it.
Hazard 6.
a Hazard
Yeah.
6, right? I mean, this is something you decide yourself.
Yes.
On.
Yeah, so some of them will have no impact on performance, like player invulnerability, tough enemies, even aggressive enemies would probably have minimal. But things like more enemies, of course, yeah, that's.
They should also
if you're
it's
struggling
getting
to
greedy,
beat
but they
them,
should add the opposite as well, where you can make things so even
and
easier.
yeah, tough enemies,
like
is actually
like player
increasing, the enemy
invulnerability.
health. And again, because this has like multiple steps, so we're trying to do versions
He's talking
where
about
it's
tough
like,
enemies
making the
increasing
game
the
more difficult,
health, but
and
that's
then
not
like
how
a higher
it
version
works,
that's
is
actually
it?
changing how you
I wonder if
play
we
the game.
explained
Right.
it.
So again, with for example, when the enemies are a lot tougher, ammo conservation becomes very important. Hitting weak points becomes very important, and also.
If you're seeing, yeah, you said tough enemies increase their health. But that's not how it works, is it?
Yeah, and I think that obviously we are hiding this behind an assignment.
Yes.
Where you need to complete an assignment on Hazard 5 before you get access to this. And again, it is because we don't want Greenbeards to just stumble into this because they're just
No, this
die
would not
like
be fun.
No, it'd not be fun for anyone.
No.
So that's why we're doing it like this, right? And
I mean, the same with the Hazard 5 assignment,
So-
the one that unlocks Hazard 5. You have to play it on Hazard 4. Because if you're not comfortable
But
doing
can you
assignment
turn
on
the stuff
Hazard 4, you
on
definitely
lower than Hazard 5?
don't want Hazard 5.
no.
I think so.
I don't think. No, I think
Just,
it is exclusive to Hazard
you
5,
have
which
more to say
is
on Hazard 5?
No, I think that covers
Then
Hazard 5.
I
Weird.
want to bring attention to a small feature that we just saw in some guy on Reddit.
Oh right, the
who
random
was
mission is
asking
actually
for,
new. I didn't realize it.
A way to pick a random mission. And
Yes.
we said, okay, yes, we can see that if you have played and drained the game for content and you just want to have fun. Then pick a random mission for you, and we added that small little button next to the.
I'll
sword that
combine that with Randomizer,
dice is on.
Yes.
probably,
And
well, at least
with
once.
that, you will just be taken to one of the regions and have a random mission select.
Exactly. And if you
then
don't like it, you
have
can.
Yeah, and obviously this feature is only for the host.
Yes.
So yeah, so then
Season
let's
seven
go
is
to
pretty
season
fat,
isn't it?
of all seasons.
Yes. And this is something that, of course, most of you have heard of before.
Yeah.
It's something that we mentioned
Yeah.
previously.
Why has the
So,
unseasoned logo got so
yeah,
much sauce?
So in the season terminal, you are gonna have the season selection tab up on the top of the screen, like you see here, and then you will be able to pick and choose
It
between
makes
the 5 seasons that are that we have been making, and
Them
we have
realizing that
also
they're not going to
play
do it
that
until
for
like
one season.
2 fucking years. This makes sense now.
So the way it works is that when you start the game, you will probably be on season 5, right? And then when you play missions and do stuff, you will earn performance points, and those performance points will be filled into the season 5 performance pass, right? Then if you go in here and you change to say season 2, well then suddenly everything you earn will be poured into the season 2 performance pass.
Quick point though, that when you switch to season 2, if you've played it before, actually your previous progress on the season has been saved. We've actually saved the progress, everyone's progress up from season 1 onwards. So you will come back to that season wherever you left it. So also for people who haven't completed some of the previous seasons, this makes it possible to now do that.
Yeah, and actually another thing I just want to also bring your attention to out there is that, as you know, after every season we take all the cosmetics that have been in a season pass, or in the cosmetic tree, and we take them and we just place them in different places in DRG where you can just get them after the season, like in the cargo crates at the store or as cosmetic matrix cores, or lost helmet. And with us introducing this system, we have taken all those cosmetics and moved them back into the season pass. Our cosmetic trees.
Where they belong.
Yeah. So then maybe you are wondering, what if I I got a hat from a cosmetic tree, and then and it was placed in season 2, and now I'm playing season 2 and I'm reaching the point where I get the hat. Well, then you reach that point and instead you get some credits. Yeah. That's the solution, right? So you everything you have gotten, you still own it. We're not taking it away from you. But
What's the season 5 script color?
Then you will encounter.
I need to know.
And then you get credits instead.
And actually another thing that this does, because as we've been doing seasons and going from season 1, 2, 3, 4, whenever we would finish a season, we would take all the cosmetics from that season pass and we would put it into existing sources like cargo crates, like cosmetic cores. And by season 3, and ours, that started to bloat those systems. So actually, what we're doing here is now by taking that out, we are removing that bloat. So now getting cosmetics that are only obtainable from a cargo crate becomes much easier for those that wanted those. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have so many. Whereas if you want something specifically from, I don't know, season 2 or season 1, you can then go to that season's performance pass
and work towards it.
And work towards it. Yeah, exactly.
And another little thing we have done is that if you have been playing 2,000 hours of Deep Rock Galactic and you have been completed and drained all season passes, and you're thinking, oh, it's boring to get a cargo crate, well, I got good news for you, because we are adding more cosmetics into all the things that we are now moving stuff out of.
Okay.
Stuff for you to get in the cargo crate, cosmetic course, store.
Oh, these old dogs.
Love you, but there will be
every single source gets
everything will get something new, right? So yeah. Do we have anything else to say on reactivating all seasons? Otherwise, guys, if you're watching this and you have questions regarding them, let's try to answer them when we have a run through.
I think I'll just do one thing, and something that we mentioned before, but I think it's something that people probably think about a lot. So we've been trying to make the system so that players can play together no matter what season they have selected. So the idea here is that if I'm hosting a game on Season 5 and Mikkel is currently running through Season 2, if Mikkel joins me, then any XP that he earns while playing with me is simply going to his season. And he's able to join me. Like, if you go to the server list, you will see all the games across the different seasons.
Finding
the main
machine events, card crates, and lost packs is going to matter again.
So, of course, when playing... season 3, for example.
I'm actually kind of tearing up.
The meteor events that are the most likely to be happening. And
oh my god!
You are on season 3. For you, meteor events are script. Whereas for me, who's on another season, for me, meteor events are instead giving XP, which is still feeding into the performance pass because XP is converted into performance points. But
I think the last time I experienced that was Scale Brigade.
Play in your own season is when you are trying to specifically get the script you get from season 11.
Wait, so I assume, but I don't know what they're doing exactly, but I assume they're not adding another framework though for the cargo crates.
On your season, but otherwise
probably not. But they'll fill it with something else.
Yes. All right. let's move on. Then we have this section, and it's actually quite big because this is our miscellaneous section,
Now,
right?
everything else went in there.
Everything else that we didn't feel could be carry its own headlines is gone in here. And the first thing is promotion track.
Hi, everything's really good. Sorry,
So,
I'm really sorry.
some of you may have seen this actually on a mod. And for anyone who doesn't know, you can promote your dwarves after they're level 25. And you can do that many times, and as you do that, you then get promotion levels, and you get...
You're 69
you get stars, exactly, in different materials. And the final one is 3 red stars.
Yeah.
And but you can promote after that, and lots of people have done many times. And so
But we were not tracking it.
well,
We're not showing.
I
that
don't
we
give a
promoted
but
it.
we actually have been tracking.
About the
We have been
delays.
tracking it. So now we're actually showing how many times you have promoted after
Yes,
3 stars red.
exactly. So you go to 4 stars red then with a number,
Yeah.
and that will then stay there.
So start like the first time you promote after having 3 stars, you go 1, and then you go 2.
And this, of course, is kind of infinite. And the idea there is also to make it so that,
I think it's
like for some people who feel like they
Hands.
need
I was
something, the
saying like-
completion still is 3-star red.
Yeah.
And for those that want to keep going,
Yeah.
that's available like this.
And shout out to the brilliant people who choose the numbers.
there it is.
The funniest numbers.
The funniest numbers in the world.
This is so easily
Alright,
the
then,
best update
another new thing
ever.
Is, new anomalies and warnings, and I'll take the warnings.
Carbonite outbreak.
This one is blood sugar, and
Yeah!
this one,
Holy
they are toxins from the atmosphere, and they are turning blood from in the box into
More ranged
blood
enemies.
sugar.
That's very nice.
Secret secondary is kind of crazy too.
It is
I like that.
hurting the dwarves. So when you're playing with this,
Secret
you're
as well.
taking damage constantly.
Obviously, you'll know when you see
assumed-
when you see
once
something
you
that
get the
isn't the main secondary. But
So
I assumed
I hope
you
it
wouldn't go
fucks.
outside.
I hope it fucks with
In
the
the
quota
cave.
as well.
With this anomaly, you're suddenly looking at box like
I-
food, maybe.
Completely, and I mean,
It's
does
been a
seem kinda
while
crazy
since I've
because,
truly felt like they've
combat
got
becomes
tricks
different.
up their
Combat
sleeve,
actually
and it's because they were saving them all for
Yeah,
this.
you,
It's 'cause-
you want to kill enemies
This
and get the red sugar from them.
is
oh my god!
it.
Then the
Oh
next
my
one
fucking
is
god.
the secondary, which means that well,
Fuck it! You don't have to. It's over. You don't have to make any more. You don't have
different in
to.
the sense that they are optional, right?
You're done.
Bonus
You're done.
to complete them, but if you do, you'll get rewarded.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's-
god.
It's a very soft.
it's-
modification.
My
Uh,
pants are
missions
so
that you
full
can
right
choose
now.
to engage with, at which point mission time gets extended, but you get more payout,
Mhm.
or don't.
I feel like you know those like
You'll come
videos
to
of
one.
like Star
Yeah,
Wars.
so I'll go
fans
through
and,
those.
like,
First
the
one,
trailer
duck and
fleets
cover.
and they were, like,
Uh,
crying.
I'm so,
what's,
I'm
happening
I'm
is
so
those-
glad this is
we
the
are,
last
biasing
half.
the enemy
that we
pools
got this
selected
after
for each mission,
the roadmap.
towards
The
enemies that
bad
have
news
range.
first, and then the
So
fucking
now there's
good
more,
news.
more
Always
like
the
a
best way to
after
go about
there's,
it.
The shooting variants of Mactera.
I'm burning up, man.
And stuff
I'm
like
burning
that,
up. I'm burning
that
up.
you
Oh
have
my
to
god. Oh
pretty
my
much
god.
engage at a longer
Oh my
distance
god.
and potentially use cover
Oh my god.
and duck and cover. Well, you can't really duck. And
Fucking hell.
But you're a dwarf, you're so short anyway,
Exactly.
so you don't need to duck.
Yeah. And number 2
I look
is
forward to
Ebonite
you
Outbreak.
finding out that
And,
you've been
if
miscounting,
you
like,
remember,
all
we of course many of you know this, but some of you
You'll actually
who are
find
new
out
may
now,
not.
Harry.
We have a
It's
machine
coming.
where these
I just want to know about Ebonite Outbreak.
infected glyphids, and pretty much what that means is that their skin has kind of turned to rock. And what that actually also means is that they are impervious to all damage except for your pickaxe
Yes.
and other sources of melee type damage. We have a few of those in the game, but guns do nothing. And what is happening in this warning is that there are some of these infected enemies with the Ebonite infection that are coming in to the mission. So as you're playing, they are part of the spawns of the enemies. Though there is something also happening with this anomaly that lets you have your power attack ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
then,
fine.
It's slightly odd
small,
that
quality
the
of life,
decontaminating
feature here
things are
is,
still there.
cosmetic filtering. And it is
Oh
just
my
a system
goodness.
that, we have implemented, so if you are sitting on a ton
Nice. Oh, they did
you
it
can
themselves,
now
but like
go in
really
here and
well.
sort it, and,
Okay.
what we see here in the image
Yeah.
is,
It'd be nice if we had mouses for this,
here
but
you
you know.
see, hats are
You have to just
category.
Yeah,
move
it's
the
fucking
you have to move the cursor a lot.
medicine.
Yeah.
And
Even the events,
and you
yep,
can go in
events,
here to
DLC.
to your delight, to your like. Yeah, that's,
Ah.
that's it. And then we
Look at that
also have
purple. That's
a
crazy.
little feature here on the randomize button,
That
which is where
no.
you can turn off Fest
Yeah.
and just see the company approved
Yeah.
cosmetics, making it a little bit more like.
Okay, so the randomizer is pretty
that it's,
intact. It's like two
really
separate,
not really cool when you press that button.
but it's
also go the
good.
other way.
Those are still
You
good
can also go
options.
the other way, and then if it is Halloween and you just want
Doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't.
edit.
All right, next up.
What's
this
that?
Is, I mean, it's not a really big thing, but it's something that we've been wanting to do.
Oh, it's like just the screen effects, is
and,
it?
path overlays. Path, by the way, stands for player affliction. So whenever
Player
something
affliction?
happens to the
I'm
player that
afflicted
kind of
with,
stays on them, we often show it
infinite
with a,
happiness.
screen overlay, such as your shield taking damage, or you're on fire, or
I think the classic one is you take damage, right, and you see blood splatter on your
Yep,
screen.
that's
right?
another
so
one.
that is the most classic one. We have a bunch of those besides.
Oh,
the
so they've
taking
changed the, like, the
damage
effect
effects
of
like
the
shield,
Yeah,
and blue
web
and
spitters,
This is
web,
easily the
all
most important thing.
So and all those have gotten.
This is good.
Yeah, an overhaul.
yes.
Whoa!
One is the
Let's
new
go!
formations. Yeah. That is. Yeah, we are adding a bunch of new
Lots
formations. to
being
repeat
solid.
the whole exploration of Mines of
Over
Fox.
20, nice.
And there's quite a few.
quite a few.
I think there's over 20. I don't remember the exact
No.
number.
Actually,
we're still finalizing which
Oh
ones
my
we're going
god,
on,
I want to
because,
meet. I want to meet them so bad. I want to kiss Mikkel so much.
make
I
the
want.
case with your G that
That's probably why you're never getting
it's
close to
not
it.
as easy as that.
Trivial,
No, it's not trivial at all, and so.
I don't think I've ever been more in love than I have been with everyone in that
But
building.
still, that ends up being quite a big chunk compared to the existing pool. So you're definitely gonna.
Yeah,
You're gonna experience these,
definitely,
yes.
definitely.
What?
Then
Whoa!
Where are you, right?
we're adding a new phase
Oh.
to the Amaran fight.
What? How?
Hold on,
How?
we need to
How?
hear this.
Lessons when we do the caretaker fight, right? Which is that making some variants in these boss fights will just keep it fresh, and you don't need that much.
No.
And
I hate that we're
for the
second behind
Amaran,
you.
Fight we had two attacks. We had the
Yeah, the
floating
rock.
rocks that
Yeah.
is being hit onto the Reda, and then we have the laser beaming rocks. And what we're doing now is we are adding a third attack, and that means that when we are having this
Yep.
fight, we can
Yeah.
pick a random sequence.
I've been saying for fucking
So
years.
then there's one you're not getting, and then you will experience something new when you are replaying it, an escort duty.
They're not telling us what it is
So
though.
talk about what it is
Yeah.
doing.
So the new
Oh.
one is
Oh, they are.
that the
They are.
Amaran is going to try to trap the dwarves.
Oh, no.
with the kind of these rock crystal claws that kind of come out and.
That's
surround the
kind of
dwarves
cool
and
actually.
they
Driller's gonna
build
love
on
that.
prison.
A rock.
Just go straight through it.
No.
Unless you
But,
can't drill it.
and compared to the other ones, where normally the
Let me
red
show
is the
you.
main target, here we are targeting the
if it's the
dwarves
full
specifically to
view,
disrupt
right?
the players from what they're normally doing during the Amaran fight, which is protecting the Reda and usually either killing the enemies around or trying to out DPS the rocks, stuff like that. So here, instead, you're the target, and when you are selected, you are of course told this. There is a tell, and then you can try to get away so that you're not grabbed, or especially important if you're on the Reda, if you're next to the Reda, fixing her. You need to get away, because if these rocks try to come up to grab you and hit the Reda instead, they will damage the Reda.
That's cool.
So no more nesting on the Reda.
No, at least not
Holy
indiscriminately.
No. So
And-
that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Just
we're
want to say quickly with these. So they are rocks, so then you have to carve yourself out,
Yeah.
It's
and
probable.
your friends can carve you out as well.
Yeah.
So it is taking kind of that dwarf out of the
Oh, yeah.
equation for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Then
5.1.
another thing, I've seen is that
What does that
we
mean?
introduced the weapon
Oh, there's
maintenance
3. They added 3 more.
in one of the maintenance updates
Updates.
that we were doing.
Yeah.
We saw that you guys were were really liking this new system, and that's why we have decided to add
fuck.
not just
Let
one
me pay for this.
weapon painter, but 2 painters.
I mean, honestly, the DLC.
I'll
could be
give you so
free.
much money, Go Ship.
Here when season 5 comes.
And they're all very cool.
They're all very cool.
No, and I think just very quickly, a great thing about the weapon maintenance system
Yeah.
is that, unlike a lot of our other progression systems, this one incentivizes players to play with things other than their preferred weapons, right? So if maybe
Dragon
you
Scale
always
sounds
like to
nice.
play with minigun, well, now there's a reason for you to play with.
Oh
other
hell
guns
yeah,
to
man!
be able to
Hell
use,
yeah!
And it's
We'll do
all
a
about
maintenance
opening
paint
up
job
the
tier
comfort
list
zone,
as well.
Exactly.
and I really like that as well.
Yeah.
It also makes you experience the whole game.
We'll do an Omon phases tier list.
There's a lot of guns in the game.
Oh
There's
my
a lot
god.
of guns in the game, yeah. All right, but let's move on. So we're about to wrap up this
Yeah.
two of
Yeah.
season 5. Just want to say, bring out some highlights here that we haven't talked about, but that we will talk and share with you guys out there in the coming future before season 5 launches.
Alright, I don't need.
It's probably going to be to do with. It's probably going to be like future in Eon Sci-Fi type thing.
We'll show it to you when we're ready. Obviously, we have.
Yeah, I don't know. It could match the framework.
Season 5. We will have an announcement of the release date. This season.
I kind of think Mark 5 is kind of meant to match the framework.
That, and obviously there will be a
Maybe.
trailer summing it all up together and having a mission control tell you how it is.
Yeah.
Not me and Mike.
Jesus
And
Christ,
obviously
they
we
have
are going to
more.
have more features than we have talked about here. Oh, we already
You guys,
have a lot of
they're off their rocker.
as always, but this was what we selected.
I don't know what kind of drugs got into the
And this is,
fucking
of course, we're showing
ghost
the
ship
lead
water supply,
of,
but
season 5.
It is the besides the season.
yeah,
one,
Monkey. I don't know. It's like I don't know what's happening, but I know that I love it.
But maybe now is the time for. You probably have a ton of questions out there, so.
I have no
I
questions
can
actually.
take some.
I'm ready.
Sure. All right, are you ready for the first one?
Yes.
So, will the new difficulty settings also be available for lower hazards? For example, hazard 3 with enemy ++ settings.
We discussed this,
Yes.
and we expected this question to come. I mean, obviously because we have been.
The answer's no,
considering
right?
all
They would say
sorts,
yes straight away if it
But
was
the
yes.
answer is no.
Yeah.
The reason why we don't want that is we want to have in the community the ability to talk about difficulties and feel the different difficulties. And this is the thing that is really blurring what is a difficulty. So that is why we are not doing it. I think if you are playing Hazard 2 and you want a bigger challenge, move to Hazard 3, move to Hazard 4, move to Hazard 5. I think that is how we have designed these jumps. The jumps between the difficulties is actually just, or not just, but they are mainly.
Hey
playing
Monkey, we'll
around
probably hop on
with
Xbox afterwards, so you can
mechanics
just
that
join
we
if you
do
want.
for Hazard 5 Plus, right?
Exactly.
So,
I don't know,
you're
maybe.
already getting it. Just go up a difficulty.
Yeah, and speaking of Hazard 5 Plus, does adjusting each difficulty setting change the hazard bonus as well?
It certainly does.
Breaking news:
We
Harvey
don't-
Weinstein.
This is something that has a 5 plus is, because you want the challenge. It is not because you want to harvest resources. So we are giving you some percentage. I don't know exactly the number, but we are giving you a higher hazard bonus by selecting these. But you should not do this for the money.
No. Management.
I'm going to be doing it so much
yeah, but-
because I have an infinite amount of XP to earn.
And how does this show on the server list? Will they be visible before you join somebody off
Yes.
the server list?
Yes. You will be able to see that you're joining a Hazard 5.
It was just an
mission,
actual-
and,
just-
maybe even will be.
Sorry, I
able
should probably
to
stop
see
talking, actually.
What type of modifiers are applied as well? We're still finalizing that part. But again, this is part of the reason why we don't want to just spread this across all the hazards. It's gonna make a soup.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So on top
No, I
of
respect
the
that.
new stalker enemy, will the laser pointer be able to highlight the stalker?
Yes.
How does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
You can, and
Just
they
actually,
kept
like
that.
them in minutes, right?
actually, if you highlight the stalker with a laser pointer, it will come out of its camouflage.
Whoa!
Oh, nice.
Really?
Right, now moving into some of the more mission-specific screenshots. The extraction boots, are they like the current jet boots but longer, or do you mean like a mini cinematic where the dwarf grabs a vertical cable and gets blasted to the top of at breakneck speed?
No cinematic.
No, doesn't matter. You're getting it. You stay in control. But we do. I mean, we are experimenting with these things right now, but we need to do a tweak on how the jet boots that you already can get in the game right now. We need to do a tweak on those
Yeah.
for this to work.
I mean, we
Yeah, these
didn't.
are definitely more powerful in the
They're more
sense of how
powerful.
It's
far
not the
you can
biggest
go
thing,
and all that.
obviously,
Call
but
them extraction jet boots.
including jet boots in the mission is
R&D
really cool.
and tinkering with them and make
Yeah.
them better.
Genuinely.
Maybe they'll explode if you use them too much, though.
Oh, that's
And
yeah.
speaking of explosions, Mike, can bulk detonators spawn during the elevator phase?
So right now they can, and that's exciting. We're figuring out exactly if there are, or there definitely are some, and bulk detonators are an example of this. It's
You
a balance
can't
between
do
which
that.
enemies are kind of like overwhelmingly a bad idea gameplay-wise, and which, however, kind of make it
Ruben
spicy
the
but
Great
still fun.
Fox, which is
So we almost
on my
certainly are
videos,
going to have kind of like a
is
no-go
really
list
obsessed.
for certain
We
enemies.
talked about
But exactly
the
who
weapons.
that is and if the
I'm
bulk
gonna have an
detonator is
equal
part of
amount
that,
of Fox.
that's still not 100% sure.
He's not
No,
happy.
no
We still-
dreadnoughts though.
It's like we still need to test it, right? I think when we
No
were doing the
dreadnoughts, what a
salvage
surprise!
mission- yeah, or we did that, right? And then we were introducing the bulk detonator.
Yes.
I think we were like considering can bulk detonators spawn on the salvage missions, and we just thought, well, yes, they can. It's just a challenge, and obviously you need to deal with the bulk detonator before it reaches the defense zone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So,
But I'm
We
sure
do
it'll work.
actually have on salvage. We don't allow bulk detonators if you're solo.
no. So,
Really?
anyways, this is a little bit.
Is that a new?
too
Is that a
early
new
to
change?
go into
I don't
specifics
think that's
on these
quite
things. We're still
correct.
tinkering with the structure.
Have you ever bumped into them?
Yes.
So,
But I
normally
don't
there are
know
little small things that are
My
sitting
memories aren't
under-
specific enough.
Yes.
on the hood
You know?
of the game that we need to do.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of fine tuning and figuring stuff out, including after we go to experimental.
Yeah.
Cool.
100%.
Do you guys have any plans for an Elite Deep Dive
I never
Plus
thought about
option
deep
that
dives.
uses a similar framework as the Hazard 5 Plus stuff?
Mm,
We don't have any plans for that.
Deep dives don't. They're done.
so,
Interesting
so,
idea.
so the Elite Deep Dive
Hmm.
actually already has the final stage of the Elite Deep Dive is harder than Hazard 5.
It's technically true.
So it is already more challenging than Hazard 5. Just putting it up.
Yeah, but we don't have any plans for like specific customization of the difficulty.
No.
Actually,
Oh, if you-
so deep
Ooh.
dives specifically don't have difficulty customization.
No.
That's why you don't select, oh, I want to do the deep dive on Hazard 2. The deep dives are seeded. There's something that you can try multiple times, try to learn the layout, and that allows people to actually play at a higher difficulty than they normally do in a purely like
Yeah, and I
procedural
mean,
cave.
the deep dives is something where we think
Good,
the
good
community
improv,
can
Mike,
and
on
talk
why
about
deep dives matter. Good
deep
improv.
dives. What is? I mean, it was super shitty, or that was super
Yeah.
difficult, or that were I don't know. Whatever. I mean, but each week's deep dive possesses its own challenges, and then the community can talk about how to deal with it. Obviously, if we were allowing people to change difficulty, that would be gone.
Yeah, I think that's not what deep dives are.
Will heightened senses work on the Stalker?
So the thing is, I mean, the stalker itself, of course, not the grabby part of heightened senses, but the heightened senses giving you a warning. Sure.
Cool. I'm not sure you mentioned it, but the Stalker also has a specific backstab ability, right?
Well, it's not.
Or I mean, it breaks your shield and
Yes, exactly. Its
Yeah.
attack is a
just not
special
sure if we
electric
mentioned
attack
that.
that will.
I think you said it, but
break
yes,
your
shield.
I
Yeah, okay,
mean,
cool. Yeah, I
but
may
it
have
is
just missed it.
pulling down your shield and jamming it or something
Exactly.
like
So
that.
it actually doesn't come back for
Yeah.
a while, a
Which
few
is-
seconds, but that matters in combat.
Actually, really punishing, especially on
Yes.
higher hazards.
yeah, cool. Okay, so we have Molly, we have Doretta, we have Betsy, we have Bosco. What is the official name of the Drillavator to join the force?
It is not a robot. It's a
No.
drillavator.
Yeah.
It is not a smart machine. It is just a drillavator.
I mean that name was so dumb that it's just, but also so spot on.
They're probably
that
gonna
is
call
so-
it
I don't
something
know
like
what you're
Eric,
talking about.
you know?
It's the drillavator.
That's what always
is what it
happens.
is.
It is what it
The-
is, right? It couldn't. I mean, it couldn't be called
Of that-
something else after that.
I'm just digging for questions real quick. Will there when
Never.
will there be an expansion of Space Rig 17?
That is a good question, but we have no plans of that. We are whenever we are doing a season, we are like dressing it in the theme of the season, and that was.
It'd be crazy to be at a
And I mean, I think I just want to say in terms
thing
of
without all the
expansions, that
rock pop
kind of
stuff.
for us has been happening more.
Oh my
organically.
God.
So when, for example, we introduced the jet boots, and then Jetty boot kind of happened,
Oh yeah.
then we had
and-
to create a space
yeah,
for it.
and we made it like a game area and so on.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Cool. Let's see. bring some good questions, guys. Will a perk rework come in?
Not in season 5.
We have way more points than perks, new
Yeah.
abilities, passives, and actives.
And
question
I
marks.
got I don't know, good and bad news. You're gonna get way more perks points because after season 5.
Oh my god, there's gonna be so many more.
New anomalies, new warnings.
New warnings, right? And they will all
perk points,
come with
yeah.
milestones for you to get and perk points to acquire.
Oh my God.
You're gonna be sitting.
I think
way
with the
more
amount of
perk
juice
points and,
they've displayed, they have.
yeah.
I think they
So,
can do it in season 6.
We know. That's the only thing I can
Yeah.
say. We know that system
That's
is
fair
up
enough, yeah.
for an overhaul, but it's not gonna happen now.
Will the new Omron phase extend the time it takes to drill to the Heartstone?
No, it's the same. And the mission will not be longer.
No.
It will just be more varied in the Omron fight.
So yes, okay. Currently the Armored fight is aside from the enemy composition, the actual phases are identical every fight. By having now an extra phase that we can swap in, that will no longer be the case.
No. So imagine that you will have to, when you're fighting it, you will have the meteor, the flying rocks, and then you will have the new attack.
Exactly.
Or you will have the laser beams and the new attack.
Yeah.
And all the combinations with those 3 you can come up with. Which is not that many.
How will the season challenges change in season 5?
Oh, I don't
Will there
care.
be new season challenges?
I thought I cared.
Maybe. We're still looking into that. So maybe. I can put some words into this. The challenges I think is a bit limited for us to do. We are right now in the challenges. We are giving you always 2 options, not to sort of dictate play specifically this, because I think that is what the assignments are doing. They are directing you to specific missions, and with the challenges, we want you to work towards something, but have it really open.
Yes.
Right. Not play with one specific character. You can play with 2 characters. Right. Always giving you options. Obviously, having this approach to the challenges limits what we can actually do with them. So.
Yeah, cool. Will the Omron stone grab thing, will that reach into the air to catch zipliners and scouts?
No.
Oh. Wish it
The
did.
air is safe from that one, but you have to be in a place where you can, of course, protect the radar.
Yeah. Will you be able to pet the drill elevator?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
no, I don't think so.
Again, the drill elevator is not a.
I think they're kind of sick of people doing that kind of thing.
You
Trying to
pet it as much as
humanize every robot.
Good drop.
Will there be new achievements in this season?
No.
In regards to the Ebonite enemies, are there going to be new Ebonite enemies, like for example, Ebonite McTerrors on enemy that spits rocks at you?
So if you think about it, an Ebonite terror
Let's just swat it
is
constantly.
really horrible because you need to kill it with your pickaxe. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do
how
want.
you
I
do that with a flying
assume
enemy.
Molly
That sounds like a me
might
problem.
spit them out or something.
So no.
Power-ups.
Ebonite infection can only happen to
Yes. You said something, didn't you?
lane-based.
Your deposit point will
It
probably
is
spit them
specifically
out.
happening to
Ground-based
Glyphid,
enemies.
and we have the small Ebonite Glyphid, which is
Yeah.
all the grunt variants kind of becoming infected.
That's
and
smart.
the larger
It's just the normal grunt slash and gold all in one.
Glyphids being.
Because they all just become that. There wouldn't be any differences because it's just
Awesome,
rock.
guys. I think that's it.
All right,
Cool.
but I think then maybe we should wrap it up and just say that it has been a pleasure sharing all these information with you guys out there. I guess there's a lot to digest. I can say that we have Aaron sitting over here. He is writing stuff together based on today's stream, and we will be sharing. I don't know what's called like a sum up.
I don't know. What's it called?
Summary. Thank
It's
you.
called a summary.
Sum up. Summary. Thank you.
Okay, so Aaron's going to be posting a summary on Below Decks or whatever.
Yeah, I think I'll have to
Below
cover
Decks.
that.
And the normal challenge.
Obviously, I want to do like a
so,
breakdown of all this stuff
thank you so much
next
for, tuning in.
week.
But have a nice one.
Yeah,
Well-
Rockenstone.
Podcast
Hello,
will just
right?
be our thoughts.
Okay, I guess, yeah.
No, I don't think we should actually do. I don't think we should record anything today, to be honest. Aside from the news video.
Today,
What?
well, I wasn't saying that, I said Saturday.
Oh yeah, well it's got to be the podcast, and that's fine. Just our thoughts.
Oh, it's recommended because this is video. I'm
And there'll be
alright.
look.
Um,
I'll get a proper news video out of this. That's where the views will come from.
Yeah. if we're doing that, then we should probably keep this close to brief as we can.
Well, yeah, it's not going to be, whatever we're about to say isn't going to be level-headed.
No. I think this is going to be roughly the format of the podcast, I imagine, as well. I think we should cover the bad news first, like they did. I think season 6 will probably be the last update for Deep Rock.
Well, I don't know if we want to talk about that kind of thing, but I think I wouldn't be surprised.
I think, but and this was something I because there was a couple of things I put a pin in, but I don't remember them, which isn't helpful. But I remember this one. The cost of the maintenance updates was what we just saw. As good as the maintenance updates were, or at least how they felt like they were, it came at the price of delaying.
They really disrupted things.
Like for almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost they basically probably didn't even do a fragment of how much they wanted to in the time, right? They wanted the open beta to be out now, and we were like, what, this is Q2, and it is now going to be Q1 next year.
Well, the goal
it basically almost got delayed.
I can show exactly what the original plans were. So the initial Rogue Core announcement roadmap. Actually, no, I don't think this is what this is, but this is still closed alpha launch was supposed to be in Q1 this year, so that would have been last month latest. Was the original plan?
Yeah.
It will probably be around this. It'll probably be around that time next year, and then they said at least 6 months until early access. So that's going to be if we assuming that not assuming, but let's just say they get it out as early in Q1 as possible, January. The earliest Rogue Core will release is July next year. So that's Q3, no matter what.
Yeah. And that
I think
it
will be. I think it will be in Q3. I don't think it will be literally a year, but it might from the original. But it might be. It's going to be close. Because November is Q4. Remember, I think it will. I think it will be in Q3 next year. Not Q4.
But then you got to then kind of if we want to then just bring it back to Deep Rock, which I think is more pertinent, right? Like Rogue Core, it's sad.
It was my original. Everything in the months leading up to this, it was all not necessarily cope, but more just we do. This was after we got the feature list originally for season 5. It was just we know that Rogue Core is probably delayed a bit. We know season 6 is going to be a long way off too. Let's just focus on season 5 as a really good thing. That became cope when we got all the delays. Well, I was like, oh, at least season 5 will be good. But there was so much Rogue Core's going to be at least a year, season 6 even longer. It was starting to be more coping than anything else. Then it started to take a very different turn. Where season 5 has got the sauce. It's got the juice. It's got the most juice I think they've ever had. Potentially.
They went through the list, right? They just.
Tyler, can we agree? It's everything except perks right now, right? Everything is done.
No. Secondaries getting their overclocks as well.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just we know that's. Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's what season 6 is. Whatever however long away it is, biome, secondary overclocks, perk overhaul.
That is literally and at that point. It's over.
It's done. Yeah,
that is genuinely why I'm of the opinion that season 6 will be the end. Because I think
it will be the last season.
Because I do think that the seasons have been slowing down
so much. Do you know what's crazy though? This is arguably a year's worth of content.
I would say this is worth a year for sure.
Exactly.
I think,
and they
you
did
know,
it. Obviously, some of like the overclocks. Most of them were prototypes left over for a while. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This was like 4 or 5 months. They said.
We're also
Crazy.
we're getting like
Crazy.
we're getting so much more of everything else as well that we normally would, right? Cosmetics, we normally get the season cosmetics, right? This time around, we're getting 3 extra, like the weapon maintenance ones, and apparently they're going to be like not fully filling. Obviously, it's not going to be 4 seasons worth, but they're putting something in everything where we lost from them adding stuff.
Yeah,
so,
I want to say something about that.
Taking them at their word.
So
Cargo crate, fucking.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, Tyler. That would be
pack.
cosmetic. That would be accessory shop as well, and cosmetic matrix course.
Exactly. Like if we take them at their words, they're going to be adding an amount to all of those, which, including a season pass, including the weapon maintenance, is the most amount of cosmetics we've gotten in ages. We're also going to be getting the filtering for them, right? So which is going to make it a whole lot more manageable. Like it is actually insane.
I do wonder
how
about
perfect this update is.
I do wonder about a framework for the cargo crate because it sounds like a lot, but if there isn't one, I think it will just
It's
be
not the
a couple
only thing
victory...
that cargo crates do, right?
It's literally just victory moves. Apart from that,
I'll
check. I will check. Yeah. There was a time when Bosco frameworks were in there, which they should be, by the way, because they're frameworks. But they said that wasn't intentional.
I
and they
didn't
moved
think
them
anything of it, but when they showed there's like new stuff, like it was the new overclocks. It showed the Bosco thing had new stuff in it too, which I didn't really think much of. But that is there, I guess.
Yeah, but cargo crates are just frameworks and victory moves. I wouldn't be surprised if they have another framework in there. To be honest,
it's possible.
As in, I'm not surprised by anything at this point because I've never been more surprised. I feel so bad about doubting them, but I think when we did doubt them, we were right to. But also, there's like big caveats too. There is bad news here as well, obviously.
I think it is, as it always tends to be with them, incredibly nuanced because
it is obviously
this season.
Best update ever.
Everything everyone has ever wanted. Why did it take so long? Not like literally, because literally it also didn't take that long.
No,
right?
like development time actually nuts. I don't know what kind of crack.
Development time, the huge at best, right? But they just gave us like the best update. Like we're talking like even challenges and I think
what you're asking is why did it take this long to make these decisions?
Why did it take
everything about this update is perfect, and so why did it take so long? Season 4,
the worst update we ever had.
What I was thinking about because obviously we're going to do By the way, I want to do a pre-1. I want to do 2 separate like tier lists for updates because we were going to do like post 1.0 because they're like big. Like ones that includes like the big updates and seasons. I want to do a pre 1.1, 1.012 before season 5, but whatever.
Didn't you specifically say we weren't going to do that because that'd be stupid?
I'll have a look. It was more so you don't go pre early access launch. That's where it gets really stupid.
I guess.
We might do from early access to 1.0, but I was just thinking about doing that the post 1.01 and how I was hoping in my mind that we would get to this. Be in this position where we get to season 5 and we just take intense pleasure in how easily we're able to put it in S. That was a hypothetical in my brain.
We would we would start with like the when there were updates, right? Like the those updates where they added the game modes and the biomes, and like these are like S tiers, right, or at least like A tiers or some bullshit, right? And then like you'd end up like slowly going down the tiers dramatically. And yeah, as it stands right now, I don't think they could fuck anything up. Like there is no.
If it broke the game, that's all it would be. Like they somehow permanently broke the game, but that's not going to happen.
But they've alleviated all worries you could have. Like going into the new system of the server stuff, they've said we've kept track. Like it's going to be there. And they've also, and then for the players that have completed all of them, they even had something for those players. When do they have something for those players, Harry?
Yeah, this is so veteran friendly as well.
Yeah,
There's a
and
feature in here. There's 2 features in here that are exclusively for veterans. One of them is for mega veterans like me. So like obviously the difficulty thing, that's for that's going. Obviously it's not Hazard 6, but it is still deliberately after Hazard 5. I assume that you have. Well, yeah, you have to do the lethal assignment to get it. So yeah. And then obviously the promotion thing is even further long-term players.
It's
I
it's an apology. It's a goodbye. That's how I'm seeing it. It is them saying that like we are not going to be working on this game in any capacity for a minimum of a year. And with that in mind, here is everything you've wanted from this game. The long-term players, the short-term players will have plenty. There is stuff in all departments, like the warnings and the anomalies.
Yeah, hold on.
Those.
Ruben just
They're-
joined. You mentioned Ruben in the chat, on their chat,
Yeah,
but he's
Ru-
just.
he
I'm
did,
late.
he
Will this
kept-
stream recording be saved? Yes, the stream recording will be saved, but I will say, I would say you're better off watching their stream. You can keep watching this. This is probably gonna be the best part of our stream. You
Yeah,
don't need to
it's
see the
breakdown.
first, like the first half was nothing, so you don't need to. You can watch it later if you want, but this is probably the best time to be on the stream. Yeah. So the mutators, it's just a actual straight up smattering of general like warnings and anomalies, straight up.
Just and because of the way that the anomalies and that works, it's like added an extra like 100 hours, like of
Yeah,
like
like
just,
seriously,
kind of like playtime.
the secondary
Like-
one is awesome. They're all awesome, but the secondary anomaly is awesome. The Ebonite warning is amazing as well. Like seriously,
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
that's so fucking cool.
And
Jesus
then the other
Christ.
ones are like one of them sounds like horrendous, but that's still on the table, right?
What was the other one? Oh yeah, more ranged enemies. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, but oh hell yeah, that's like that's like lethal enemies. They add
And
horrible ones.
more cave shapes. Don't forget about that. And we shouldn't forget about that.
Cave shapes, which once again, because all these things, it's really like, and this is once again, the turning off the seasons makes so much sense, like more sense now, right? It almost required 2 years. I think is a safe bet. I think 2 years until season 6 is a safe thing to rest your mind upon, because season 6.
The fact
will
is,
happen.
Tyler, that's like honestly for me, that's acceptable now. It's not like objectively speaking, because that's not updates shouldn't ever take that long. But we are in a Ghost Ship are in a very weird
an update
spot.
isn't going to be taking that long, right? That's the thing, is that like they just had to make them working on Road Core like stomachable, right? Because before they were still kind of like playing around with Deep Rock, like saying, hey, we're still adding updates while working on Road Core.
It was
But it didn't
originally
work.
it was originally stomachable once we started getting the maintenance updates. Now I feel like Deep Rock has benefited from it. I don't think we would get an update like this without Road Core.
No, sure, but we will be paying the price. Deep Rock will not have anything for a minimum of a year. They probably won't even refer to it. I mean, I guess that we'll have the seasonal events, right? We'll get a hat in the seasonal events. Like, there's going to be that, and ultimately, time kind of flew faster.
I think there will be at least one update. I think.
Well, by this time next year, we will have closed, hopefully closed Road Core, right? Closed Alpha Road Core, which I don't say we specifically. I mean, ideally we specifically.
Well,
right?
we got more
I mean,
time now. We got more time.
Yeah,
a lot more time, by the
to
way.
try
and
get a nice, good PC to play
Yeah,
it. Because once again, that is something almost definitely not coming to Xbox until 1.0, which is almost definitely not going to be until 2 or so years after launch.
God, that got even. I forgot about that. Like seriously, fucking hell! Like the waiting, the waiting. But at the same time, the fact is, what they've proved today is that they can actually make these weights worth it somehow.
Well,
So
it is
season 6 will
doable.
be different because I don't think it's going to be as big as this, and it's going to be even longer with less in between. But I still think it's going to be surprisingly good.
No, that's why, right? I'm picturing this. They're obviously right now they're just going to not work on Deep Rock at all. Complete Rogue Core, well, not complete Rogue Core, but have Rogue Core playable, and then ultimately come to realize that why they've already realized they can't work on both games at the same time.
They just can't.
It's actually that is something they have specifically said that they couldn't work on both games at the same time, and so it is going to be like if they want to keep adding seasons to Deep Rock.
I'm just going to start collecting every screenshot.
Yeah, probably. Like if they want to keep working on Deep Rock, it's just it's going to come at the sacrifice of Rogue Core's development. Right, Rogue Core will grow slower as a game and ultimately do worse than it potentially could because they're going to be continuing to work on Deep Rock. And at this point in time, what this update has shown me, and I assume quite a few people, you maybe as well, with the right update, the Deep Rock could end in a way that it would never end. Right, I think this update could be enough for most people in that regard. Right?
Yeah, it might be enough for me.
If there wasn't just some like I don't know, if it was like a story, like some loose ends, right? Some character developments that haven't quite reached their end, right? The key main one being a perk rework, right? Like season 6 will get a perk rework, and they'll add like a ton of new perks, and it will be like this whole cool thing as a farewell. Right, I do genuinely. I know what they've said, and the problem is that what they've also say, like along with it, they're never going to leave Deep Rock behind. It's an evergreen. Why would they do that? We have no intentions of banning Deep Rock. They say that along the same lines next to, you should always take what we say for granted. Our plans change constantly, right? And I genuinely. I don't see any reason to if season 6 is like season 5, there is no reason to continue working on Deep Rock.
No,
I don't think.
They're getting to the point where they clearly need to stop because they're actually pushing the boundaries of what they can do with the game.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not like
it's going to stop
they
making.
didn't add any...
It's going to really stop making sense for them to work on Deep Rock soon.
Yeah, and they didn't add any new systems this time, really, right? I don't think.
What?
It was all just. Did they add any new systems?
The difficulty has 5+.
Oh right, yeah.
It's absolutely a new. That's a new system, and the promotion thing is
just another difficulty.
Yeah, but that is a new gameplay system.
Yeah, no, I guess that's fair, but still not in any way that you would kind of. That used to, right? I guess there's a way of saying, when they would just add beers as a mechanic.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think it is close. It's closer than you think to that kind of thing.
Kind of, but what I'm saying is that they obviously haven't done that in a while. But even with this amazing update, it still doesn't have anything like that because they just can't add anything like that, right?
No,
that
but Tyler, we've been wanting them to add to the pre-existing stuff for a while in a way that they kind of haven't. Because what season 4 is like random nothing. They're not new systems, but they're also not really tied to anything else. This is a really good combination of what we want, which is adding to the pre-existing stuff, adding good stuff to the pre-existing systems, and carefully adding a new system. It's quite careful.
What we want, it is just other than the perk rework, which we were never expecting. Right, that's still.
I'd almost just signed it off as maybe not happening.
That's all I want them to say. I mean, at this point, it's almost impossible for them to say it. But ultimately, I think it's almost the case that they just can't do the perk rework, and they just need to nut up and say it.
Yeah.
But other than that one specific thing, it's everything, right? I
don't know how they managed to combine making a more simplistic mission type with the drill eviter thing. at the same time, which means it might not be as simple as it should have been. But I don't care. I still think it looks awesome. So
it is really interesting. It seems like from what I recall, you're gonna drop in probably in the normal spawn room. But he said like you will have to then like there will be. I think he specified the amount. It might depend on the length of the mission, but there'll be like those geodes that you see, the giant crystals in underground,
yeah,
which you find
yeah, the
having a
structure
tracker
seems a
that you
bit
have
weird.
on you,
Yeah.
which is like hot and cold. And he said it was a very complex cave, so it's probably like a weird like network or like kind of like I don't know circle. It's probably not like wired out or anything. Especially since I imagine most of the cave generation existence is going to be down, right? Like I assume there's a set size to caves, isn't there? Like I don't know exactly how
like
it would be.
the
but,
actual cell boundaries that the game allows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I imagine most of that's going to be pointed downwards. So the top one's probably not going to be that big, but it's going to be complex. You then find these geodes in the wall thanks to the tracker, which you then seem to like you put like a giant sucker cup onto them and then like connect them to something, which he then said you would like coordinate then like not coordinate. I guess it kind of is, but like you then track down where the big jewel needs to be to find the geode, and then you do that, which that seems to be like the big main event, but ultimately not the end of the mission, which is quite interesting, right?
It's like an extraction kind of thing, isn't it? It's like you go down, then you do another thing, and then you then extraction is like going. Well, actually, I can't remember. Does the extraction start when you go back up? Oh no, I think
no.
you still have the mule. I think the mule actually.
Yeah, just let me we'll just continue going through it, right?
But you don't deposit in the you don't deposit in the
as you're going down on the drill. No, you don't, which I thought was kind of odd. But I guess Molly's around, which is always good. But as you go down the drill, it seems like it will occasionally like break, and you'd have to like repair it because they said that it will slow down and let the enemies catch up with you essentially. Which is it's basically like it's a quasi Doretta, but I think I won't.
It's better. I mean, I think they weren't
too
clear, but they said it like overheats. I think so. It's not it's not
like harder rocks and slow.
Yeah,
down,
it doesn't get damaged. You repair it, but it's not enemy based. It's not like it doesn't have health. It doesn't. It can't. Yeah, it doesn't have health. It can't get destroyed. As far as we can tell.
And then I assume after normally if it's like a set times after like 3 of those you'd enter the geode, right? Which is then a really funky looking room from what we saw, right? That looked really pretty like sick.
That was weird.
And then you harvest the
it does invoke Escort Duty in a lot of ways actually, because that is something I like about Escort Duty. Is like it does introduce a different environment as part of the mission. That is, I don't hate
as
that.
part of like the end room specifically.
Exactly.
But like it didn't really like it didn't indicate how much that final stage was. Like that final stage might be that room's not that big and you just grab those seeds and leave. Like it's arguably like when you like crack open a meteorite and grab the plague cards, right? It could be such an insignificant amount of time that it's ultimately just the reward at the end of the main like final event, which was the elevator, or that it's like the final section. You're in this really cool new room. You have to find the Morkite seeds, and there are still enemies. The game is still going, and then eventually, once you find them all, deposit in Molly, and then grab the assumedly infinite fuel jet boots.
Well, I think they said they're tweaking it. I think it probably won't. Well, actually, no. It kind of has to be infinite, doesn't it?
It's
because even if it's enough to get up to the top, and then maybe it runs out, you can still run into situations where you have to stop, and then you might just be fucked.
You have to make sure, you don't end up with players that have no way of leaving. Because I was thinking, like, main thought is that you get jet boots that are infinite fuel, so you can just fly straight up and then to the pod, which is just in that terrain that you spawned in, essentially, like that area. But like I was thinking, like other ways you could do it would be like as soon as you grab it from the drill, you would assumedly be under the hole, so you just shoot straight up, like without really like being able to stop it, essentially, and then it just like puts you on the other end. But they said they didn't want to watch cinematics, and that sounds a bit cinematic-y, even if it isn't. I don't know why someone thought it would be.
You don't have to say a bit cinematic. Cinematic is already an adjective. You don't need to say cinematic.
Yeah, but like I don't know, but it sounds way more complex than we thought it was. But it seems like it's still going to be ultimately kind of simple. Find things in room survive on a platform,
I
like where
think-
enemies are coming from above,
Well,
and then
look.
find the seeds.
It is more complex than we thought, but I think they're still scaling back on, like, you know, I don't think it's going to be as
Protecting,
it's-
refueling.
yeah, it's not going to be
like,
as tedious.
reinforcing,
Like, for example, there was that thing
like-
with, like, you know, getting the actual geode out or whatever. I don't think that thing's going to break or anything like that, to be honest. I think it might just be like,
I hope not.
I think it's just
I'll
going to be,
honest,
I think it will just be point defense, but not even in a zone, possibly.
Yeah, but even then, though, I don't know. Like, I saw those wires, and I'm like, oh shit! Like,
Yeah, that was a
genuinely-
bad.
Those things are a bad omen.
Yeah, they are.
Anything
They
with
actually
those
are.
things involved, like, tend to be not that good. I mean, the best version currently is the meteorite. They do seem to get better with it, but also they have relied on it so many times now as like a way of doing things.
Yeah. We'll see. Overall, mission looks good though.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know
and
how they
the new
managed.
enemies
They
as
managed to
well.
make a fucking a new spitball infector without giving them an actual species name.
Yeah,
funny.
he's like an ugly brother of the. Well, actually, I say he's ugly, but he still looks better because he's actually like designed right
Yeah,
modernly.
but it
Like,
still
I'm
does
surprised
look
they
like
really-
a spitballer, even though it is a more
They
detailed
still
design.
didn't take this opportunity to redesign the spitballer and.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The
Nexus, which
Vartok thing annoys me a little bit, not because of what it is, but just because I feel like, did you really have to make another? That could have been a Korlok thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like they just wanted to make a new, different looking enemy. I mean, it's kind of got Rockpox color palette, to be honest. It's cool though. I like the idea that it's got like weak points if the damage that are like hidden away, but you know, it's like follow the wires to find its weak points or whatever.
Yeah. It is Korlocky in a way because depending on its terrain, might make it a really big pain in the ass. Like if it's like in a really good spot, but all of its weak points are like completely hidden, you can just be like fucked without even really knowing, like what to do. Which is, you know, classic Korlok. So it's definitely channeling the energy, and then the Stalker looked cool from what you could see of it.
Stalker definitely seems like, you know, they said it's not a swarm enemy, like specifically, and it definitely looks like a mini boss style, like a proper thing. You do have to like fight it, you know, kind of, or at least not necessarily because it's like, you know, sneaking around, but it's like it is a hazard, you know. It's not a grunt. It's not a random
with the
enemy.
ability that it seems like, you know, once it gets its hand on you, you lose all of your shield and the ability to regenerate it for a little while, which I think is a pretty cool like ability, just as like a punishing thing, right? Because like that, you're supposed to catch the Stalker before it gets to you, right? That's kind of the point of it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's all of it is really, really fucking cool. And I keep like thinking like, oh, but it's so far away. But it's
no, this
literally
isn't.
not.
This is
Like,
not.
it's
It
like-
really isn't.
It's like a month and a half for PC, and then probably like 2 months for us. Like it's
yeah,
like
I'd say 2 months at most for
going
us.
into
I
next
mean,
month.
look, it gets to the point where it feels like you have it even when you don't. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
once
We've got stuff to chew
once
on,
you've got the trailer, once the experimental branch is in full swing, it doesn't feel like you're missing out really. And then it just gets it just gets even better when you actually get the update. You know.
It's like we've been thinking about a restaurant and eating at a restaurant for ages, and we're
Fucking
now
hell.
in the restaurant, but we haven't got our food yet. But it's been ordered, and it's exactly what we wanted. Yeah, I don't know. It's unbelievably hype.
How do you feel about that flamethrower overclock? Honestly, the overclocks have kind of died down in terms of being like the most exciting thing. You know,
I think they're one of the least.
at this
to
point
be
they are.
honest. Like,
Obviously, still really cool. Obviously, getting your overclocks is sick, but somehow they managed to upstage that. It's crazy.
yeah.
But surely the flamethrower one, that's like along the lines of that's like one of the best ways they could have gone with making a new flamethrower overclock. Surely.
It feels like I guess what was they're all different, right? They all seem to like seemed to have the goal to like change the way you use the weapon, right?
Yeah,
that was like the goal for every single one of them.
That's true, but the Warthog still has a very clear direction that it's not straying from, which is simplicity.
Yeah. But ultimately, that's the Warthog for you.
Yeah.
And they did say there'll be a heavy rework to something as well,
something
which
we can speculate to. It could be anything, to be honest. But I can't think of many things that a rework is makes perfect sense and everyone would agree with, apart from Reatomizer. So it could be that.
The core gun already got like so much.
I know. It should
but
have
I guess
happened
maybe when they were doing the core gun before,
they might have
didn't
realized
get
it
around
needed
doing
to
it.
become something entirely different. And
it was like bigger than the scope of the maintenance update. But yeah, no,
we didn't really see any of the cosmetics aside from the framework, and the framework's pretty good. I like it.
We got saw a fair amount of it.
Well, I'm on it right now. I'm on that screenshot right now. Yeah, well, we can see them. The monobrow. There's a nice moustache. Some like armor. Well, yeah, actually, we did see some stuff in other screenshots. I'm thinking of more so when they showed the picture of the cosmetic tree. But there's like a weird thing.
Yeah, there.
There's like an
in
extra.
The narrated trailer is normally when we get the juice when they scroll through it and we like freeze frame it, like enhance like that whole thing.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any sign of separating eyewear from headwear.
No, which is a bit silly. But no, that filter system looked good.
I
didn't expect them to go like that detailed into it. You still got to kind of know stuff about the game. Like you're gonna know when the item you want came out in which season, right? Like it's like it's still.
Oh wow! Look at this one.
Like,
sorry, I just because obviously I'm just letting it play and seeing stuff. It's actually a really good screenshot that I've got here of like. I'll actually send it to you. Of some of the new cosmetics, especially that gunner. That helmet and that beard and the armor paint job are all like new.
Yeah, that beard's odd.
That helmet's pretty wild looking. It's pretty cool.
The helmet is funky. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the most significant thing there is the monobrow. They've never added eyebrows to.
I don't think that is entirely true. We'll be able to see.
Actually, you might be right. But it's only been like one. It's not something they add like any real amount. Still,
well, yeah, I mean, there is the thing about we talk a lot about how maybe they should extend the pass and things like that, but they've done so much stuff outside of that I prefer to
Instead of extending the pass, they added all the previous ones, and now it's like 5 seasons now.
Well, they did that. Right? They did add more maintenance paint jobs. Yeah. They added the Mark V armor. And they just added loads of other things to give you reasons to play anyway, So I'm not worried about that. I think it's fair that they don't want to get bogged down in making a bigger pass for no particularly good reason. When they could do other cooler stuff.
I also have I don't know, because they've added so much more cosmetics than they normally do. It makes me wonder, they've not had the same amount of time. Well, they haven't had that long of time, and they don't crunch. So I'm wondering how they got away with adding so many cosmetics, and I hope it's because they weren't as petty about them, right? And they just kind of added any of them that the artists could make, which hopefully means we should get some. Also, just with more ones, I expect a couple really good cosmetics. I hope ones that.
Yeah, I like the armor paint jobs I've seen so far, and I really like that helmet on that gunner.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm sure the DLC, the framework looks pretty good, and I think the DLC will probably be quite good too.
We still yet to see DLC as well. Yeah, armor. Always the best DLCs.
Yep.
I don't know, man. This is so fucking
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I'm wondering if the DLC might be slightly bigger as well.
Probably not. Probably.
I feel like they might want a bit more money.
You mean properly bigger, like bigger DLC costs more,
kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
At least they might feel a bit bad and probably might not do it for that reason, but I don't know. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. Because they still earn money from back buying. But
I love how unseasonal it is. It's not bogged down in creating a new, really crystal clear threat with its own visual design that has to exist in its own bubble. It's so holistic. It's embracing every part of this update. Is embracing like the entire game pretty much, and I love that.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
just like what
making bubbles.
And I feel like we haven't really, like, they added it. The promotions that show
Tyler, I kind of got it all out in the moment. That's why.
I feel like you're just more in denial. I just think you hasn't actually sat in that they're actually adding it.
It has, but Tyler, that's why I think you forgot how I reacted.
I mean, you like screamed, cried, and banged on your desk until your mum came in to see if you were alright.
It wasn't my mum. It was my sister telling me to shut up, which is fair, but also not fair because I have wanted this for
that shit's been in your
4
dreams,
years,
right?
No, Tyler,
Yeah.
I haven't. That's something I wanted to say. Is this is so sad. I have dreams a lot about this kind of thing. About like like not the perfect update, but just them coming out and just with so much to say and so much to offer and show us and like so much cool shit, and so much of it is stuff that I've wanted for so long. And every time I wake up and I think that's never going to happen because it's just too good. This is honestly better than most of those dreams.
This is quite literally
a dream
come true.
It is. It is actually. It is literally. It's crazy. It is crazy.
And all that it did was come at the cost of the future of the game. But honestly, the future of the game is not even that bad.
Exactly. Well, no, because we've kind of established it's so like honestly, it's so complete almost.
Yeah, it's like with updates or like with seasons, we've kind of gotten used to wanting more because then it's a higher chance of them actually adding the thing we want them to add, right? Like we want them to do more seasons, so then they could add the performance, not performance, just the leveling up thing, or like the cosmetic filters or stuff like that. Right? We want more updates, so they have a higher chance of adding what we want. But they just added what we want in this update, and we'll probably finish it off next update.
I'm so glad I tempered my expectations. In the lead up, and especially after we after we got the bad news, I was really like, yeah, season 5 might not actually cut it. Based on what we knew, that it's been completely overturned. It's gone in the other direction. Genuinely.
I do because obviously before I was kind of flip flopping. Like I was saying, I was hope that this season is the bigger season, right? It reaches the highest
down because I'm starting to get cold again.
You stop heating, but I used to say I hope that this gets to the highest numbers, but
it deserves it.
If this update doesn't, then it's over for the just generally the dream's over. This is the best update the game has ever had. If this doesn't beat the peak of season 3,
oh my god, season fucking 3 compared to this. Season 3's not the worst, obviously. Season 4's even funnier, but still, good god.
Luckily, the trend is season 1 did really, really well, broke records.
Yeah, odd numbers.
Season 2 did middling, didn't do shit. 3, or just like every other new things. 3 did broke everything. 4 fucking pathetic. 5, and it's 5, and it's this 5, and it's just it should all come together.
I'm looking at. I've just got to the promotion tracker thing, and it's so perfect looking as well. I mean, aside from the fact that obviously I don't know if I actually had a stance on whether it should be beyond legendary or not, but whatever it is, I think it's better because this is
legendary something.
Well,
right?
This is legendary plus. It's kind of there's 4 stars with the number in the middle, and it looks perfect. It's like legendary is the final tier 5. Still, and I think that's actually how it should be. I think legendary is maintained, and I think that's good.
Which is good.
Look at it.
Oh my god!
Look at it.
I'll look at it. It's I mean, I think they need to realize how absurd a level 400, like, or 420 driller is.
Yeah, they just put the number. Well, you know that. Well, yeah, but it's
'cause you're like
469.
40 something, right?
Yeah, my
Like,
engine is legendary 43, so it should say 40. I don't know if it will say 43 or 40. That's the thing. I think it will
could even
say
like 39, since there's 4 stars there.
it could.
Right?
It could. No, because the fourth one would be number 1, right? If that's the case.
Yes, but if they're not counting stars, then why would they count one of the stars?
Look at this. We shouldn't be doing this because what I'm doing right now is what I want to do on Saturday. That's what this PowerPoint's for. Next week, just going through all the screenshots, breaking them down. Podcast will be
what we just said is basically going to be the podcast, but like even more.
Yeah, but we're going to go for longer, obviously.
But then stop sending me that.
I will. Sorry,
But,
I just wanted. I'll unsend it actually.
It's just sending me random shit. Like, yeah, this is absolutely redonkulous. It is
coming in my pants.
It is so difficult, right? Because like it is a really, really, really good update, but also really, really, really bad news.
Yeah, but we kind of
it,
established that it might not. Well,
no, it is. No, it is. It is like it is just basically said to me. Right, first of all, no more maintenance updates. Right, no more maintenance updates.
Yeah, not 100% on that though.
No more maintenance updates.
No,
it would go
wasn't...
completely against what they're saying.
I agree. I'm just saying they weren't 100% on that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but close. I would say that unless they're 100%, they don't really do anything. But like, yeah, no more maintenance updates. You genuinely cannot expect to even hear anything about season 6 until Q3 next year. You won't hear. They won't have started working on or even thinking about season 6 until Q3 next year, right? And this is not inherently bad news for some people, but bad news for us. Even like all of this for Rogue Core, which we would not even be able to play unless we get like a good PC, right? So like, and even then, that's coming out in Q3 next year, and it's just like if you ignore season 5, which is impossible to do, but like it is absolutely devastating news. But then it is the best update the game has ever had is like on our doorstep, and it's like, how are you supposed to cope with these two things? Like, how are you supposed to celebrate season 5?
You're not supposed to
past
cope.
It is desolation.
Well, that's how you do it. They're just separate things. That's how you do it. They're just separate. Season 5 is season 5. Post season 5 is post season 5. That's next year. The year is safe as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
but then, and there'll be more broadcasts. They said there'll be more broadcasts.
Yeah, but it'll be all about Rogue Core, because what would they have to talk about Deep Rock about?
Yeah,
they're not going to be doing anything, which is fine. But like, it is also not fine because we will inherently be able to play Rogue Core, but we should be able to by then. That's the the bright side of it being so delayed is that you could save chump change and be able to afford a good PC by that point.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Save like £10, save £10 a week, and we would probably have like 600, 700 quid by the time that Rogue Core comes out. Which,
if you just like decide to start a deposit, of like, this is what for my Rogue Core PC. 10 quid a week.
Yeah, £10 a week, which actually I'm really liking the sound of, because that means if you save like £20 a week, you could get like a £1,000 PC, which would do Rogue Core, I'd imagine. So that is actually a pretty cool idea. I might try and like specifically save for Rogue Core. But in the end, also Dino Lords is really cool, and I'm looking forward to that, which is obviously about the same time.
Survivor's cool. Everything's cool.
Or Spell Rogue.
What's that? I'm sorry. Can can you expect me to care about that right now? Like, really?
No one. It's Spellrogue is just going to be
What the fuck?
perpetually.
For some reason,
in
I'm
the
looking at this
shadow.
screenshot of them on going through like the new cave shapes, and like for some reason it's like a secondary. Like I guess it's a placeholder text for some reason. The secondary objective is supposed to be Ebo Nuts. It's the same as Ebo Nuts. It's like got the icon and out 14, but it says destroy BHA barnacles.
Oh,
I don't think there's anything new. I don't think they're adding new secondary objectives.
I
But-
wouldn't. No, dude, there's still some features they haven't revealed, and I
yeah,
wouldn't
they
be
could. They might have
surprised.
added some more for the anomaly.
They've
as
added,
well.
secret secondary objectives, and it's not like secondary objectives are that big a deal, right?
No,
Right? It would not be absurd if they added some more.
I remember saying,
plus, I
Tyler,
think that
because
would be well
there was
within
that
that
thing about
category.
like that stream that the response they gave, where someone asked about new anomalies and they said likely, and they were like, oh god, even if they added one, it would like really bring it up. How about two plus
and two more
warnings?
Yeah, just
Crazy.
casually, like in amongst other stuff.
But that's how you're
It
meant to do
is-
it. It's the casualness as well.
I am
that
so
separates
glad
it.
that I skived off the thing I was supposed to be doing today.
Yeah.
just to watch this stream.
Yeah. Also, thank you people for
Yeah.
tuning in. Obviously, I think it actually has a lot to do with when we started, because most of our viewers doesn't really work for them. But also the first half of the stream is pretty bad anyway. But I'm actually thank you for everyone for tuning in now. We've got quite a few viewers at the moment, and it's the right time to be here.
Because
So,
we're basically like their post-stream party, right? Like they've
yeah,
ended.
that's
then
fine.
people
And
were like, "All right."
I don't have a problem with that, because obviously they're not doing a post-stream party.
No.
I could party. I don't. I
But
haven't.
yeah, this-
I haven't felt this good in a while.
When was the last time you could think about Deep Rock and have a good update be the thing you're thinking about?
The truth is, for the November maintenance update, that's when that was.
I guess, but like, putting
It was a
that
really
into
nice
scale
surprise.
now, right?
Yeah.
How low our
This
expectations
is like,
were.
you could take like 2 parts of this, and it's like bigger than that. You could take the them adding 3 more
You could
maintenance
take
paint jobs in this update,
one-
plus no, not one thing. Like, if you be selective,
No,
you could take the fact that they're adding 3 maintenance paint jobs in this update anyway, and then also add on like, I don't know, difficulty plus, and that's immediately better than the November update. I think.
Yeah, but you could take one feature and it would beat season 4.
Yeah,
One-
you really could.
one feature.
So easily. Every single part of this. Even hold on. What about the new Omeran phase?
I would be so down. I forgot about that. Oh my god, that was like it's difficult to put into words how it felt like that was specifically made for me, because everyone else was disliking the whole Omeran thing, but I was the only person who's been screaming about this for like our entire fucking YouTube career. Like, and they just kind of like tacked it on, just like it's like, and I said, oh my god, they're amazing, and I love them so much.
And that was immediately
Oh
followed
my-
up, obviously not as big, but still really cool. Like, we saw the maintenance paint jobs, and I saw like 5.1. Why is it 5.1?
Yeah. And then there was just out of 7, and it's like instead of and it's like I don't know. They just I wish they had to make up for the stuff more often. But then obviously it comes with the price of because it's like I thought you would think season 5 is the apology for season 4, but I feel like that was essentially the maintenance updates. Season 5 is an apology for the next 2 years. That's what it is, and it's a good one. It almost makes me want to forgive them, because it does. To be honest with you,
I forgive them.
I think we have already gotten used to Deep Rock without updates. Let's at least have the update be good when it
Like,
arrives.
seriously,
right?
coming back basically from really the game. Obviously, it's bitter. It will become bitter in like 6 months, I guess, or something like that. That's when we'll start to be like, but
I think I'll say something that I wasn't expecting to say. I think season 5 is going to bring me back to the game, right? Like,
yeah, you've got to be
properly.
careful because you're weird. But
I know, but well, to be honest, main particular reason it is the promotion thing, right? That'll do it for me.
surprises me that does it for you, because is that because it?
I
Hold
want
on,
my
no,
Driller
I
to
know
be
why. It means you can
fallen.
play Driller more. It means you can.
Yes, it's exactly that. I want my driller to be like 100 like red stars.
You want to be
and
the biggest
still
driller.
have like a gold scout.
So there's
or,
actually
like, a gold
exactly
engineer.
50
Like,
screenshots.
yeah, no, this is
I will say,
This is it?
no, okay. So this is a good thing, but it might not be good for the for the season. The fact is, the season theme and branding is kind of sourceless. It's like it's a pretty bland looking logo. It's just called Drilling Deeper. I love it. The fact is, this is more of a just like a massive update than a really season based thing. I love it, but it's still the branding might be pretty unremarkable.
It's also, do you remember, like, I don't know, do you remember, like, ages and ages ago when I was like, we were like,
No.
Ghost Ship, the threats of the season, or like the main season theme, shouldn't be external, them attacking them. It should be like, like Deep Rock Galactic, the company, actively doing something. And they like specifically said that at the beginning. And it's like, I don't know. It literally feels like they just went through our videos and we're just like, yeah, we'll do that.
I
We'll
don't
do that.
think
Yeah,
we are
it.
the prime mover, but I do think we've nudged them a tiny bit in some direction.
Because
Tyler, the problem is, Tyler, we've covered so much ground, right?
Yeah,
we have echoed everything that everyone wants, so we can't really. There's no chance of us not having something in it that we said before.
It's entirely fair, but I don't ever like think that what we say informs them of what they should do. Like whenever we say something and it happens, I don't think like we're the cause of it or anything. But I do think we are right most of the time, right? Like we are like they should do this, and they're not listening to us.
I don't think this is the time to be complimenting us.
No, we're not. Except we are, because they did my Omeran thing. like
Next up, industrial sabotage.
If they did my Omeran thing, the waves would also be different to spice it up even more.
Yeah.
But still, like, it's absolutely magnificent.
I mean, this is also why, like, because obviously, I think I was thinking originally before we got this stream, I was thinking that we might just add the new mission to the tier list rather than redo the tier list. But I think we're definitely gonna have to redo the mission tier list. I think.
Yeah, and Anomaly warning tier list, is like
we're gonna have
on
to
the table
redo
again
them as
at
well.
some point in time.
We'll space that out. It out. Don't worry. We won't do like them super close together.
The thing is that I once again I do believe that I think season 5 is a goodbye, but obviously we know season 6 is coming. So it's difficult because I would say we should just do like all the tier lists again now, because then we're not going to be getting them again.
Well, no, Tyler,
like that.
Tyler,
I have that thought.
Tyler, you're right, but we can afford. We can. It's the same. Spacing them out is the same as doing them now. It's going to be no different. It's just better to space them out for us.
But, like, there's no point waiting until like after season 6 for two reasons. Reason one, in 2 years' time. Reason two, I don't think season 6 is going to be tackling much. Obviously, we're not going to do a perk rework, because that's once again one of the things they didn't add to. Like this is something as well. Like if there wasn't a quotation marks perk rework in the works, or not really in the works, we would have gotten perks this update. But they didn't do that because they have to do a perk rework at this point. But I won't elaborate on that too much. But it is of note the only thing they didn't add this update that the game needs before just disappearing into the sunset. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we can talk more on Saturday.
Yep.
And
if anyone has any thoughts now, please share them.
Forever hold your peace.
Yeah. I'll try and actually no, because I think the news video should do pretty good. So we'll cover comments from that for sure.
Yeah.
Or try to.
And maybe.
That should probably be the next podcast. Actually, should be your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I guess.
So we'll actually save that, because I think we did this before, where we did this for season 5 already, where it's like the first episode we couldn't fit comments in, and I don't think we should try to. We should just save comments.
Especially not with all this juice.
Yeah.
Not going to be much room to go around.
Exactly. I think we should stop for our own sake. because otherwise,
Yeah.
because we're starting to wind down. It will come back once we've had time to digest, no doubt. And you can look forward to the podcast. You can look forward to all future videos, because it's going to get pretty good for a little while, and then after about a year, it's going to be really weird. But we're not going to think about that. We're not going to think about. We're thinking about the here and now, because the here and now is genuinely, it's not coping to focus on the here and now anymore. It's actually very deserved to focus on the here and now of season 5. It deserves for us to focus on that instead of the weird future. You know, season 5 is earning our eyes, and our attention.
Yeah, we shouldn't look past season 5 until
a while after season 5, even. There'll also be more. I think we'll try and. I definitely want to do more gameplay videos, for sure. Just try and do some of that, like a proper video. It would probably end up being a Saturday video. It'd be like a proper
obviously we'll
mission.
probably be streaming
Go through the mission
quite a bit.
Yes.
Early on.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know how we'll structure that. If we'll try and keep a lid on it or not. Might keep it weekly until we stop. Until we run out of juice. I don't know. Either way, I think we need to stop this stream. So
yeah.
Thank you very, very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Ghost Ship, genuinely, for just pulling some shit out your ass and, bringing some pretty bad news, but also bringing the source, the absolute dog's bollocks for season 5, straight up, just unflinchingly. Insane levels of just awesomeness just seeping from every pore of season 5. So hats off to you for doing that, genuinely. And we'll talk more about it this Saturday on Barrel Vision. Goodbye. Also, you sound much better and have done since we actually started talking.
Thank you. I think I got closer to the mic, which probably